We are live here at Old City Hall where the Moors have returned. Sir, do you have anything to say about this matter?
Yeah. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
Yep. Sir, what do you have to say?
I'm just gonna put down the red.
Yeah, what he said.
Moors life matters. More lives matter. It seems like black lives don't matter. More lives matter. Shot in the back, running or choked out to death on the corners. Mistakes the states are for inside them, says the coroner. To the yellow journalists that won awards for writing facts, for worldwide web press stories, always calling them black. Civil rights violated. Here comes C1-7 and CIA and FBI agent, brethren felons with what Big Brother once heard. Most Moors are nerds and study more than if I'm on the road, no biting curbs. No threats of nooses or fighting for survival. Making Moors martyrs won't happen, calling us captain rival. Inquisition is governors and secretaries of state got stateless on their tables like ribeye steak with no care, blood dripping. They eat blacks rare, foreigners wearing 6-point badges, pretending they're heirs to the vastness of state Mugini Balaksa. Stainless blood flow past a horse's brow, I swear it's agua. Demons thirst quench, stealing pie mills and organs. Psychiatry, death industry, to start selling black orphans and half-closed coffins, cause legs are missing, killing stateless people, cancer won't even see remission. More lives matter, cause it seems like black lives don't matter. More lives matter, cause it seems like black lives don't matter. More lives matter, cause it seems like black lives don't matter. More lives matter, cause it seems like black lives don't matter.
System, what system? Not gonna make myself no victim. Run down and kick them up, educate oneself and flip them. All of their titles or nationality strips them. Must grip reality in order to really grip them in this third dimensional illusion. Organized chaos, confusion, stealing your attention. Mental intrusion, universal laws, declaration of the ancients. I self-law and master from the rooftops to the basements. Hook these to the spaceship ever since all creations. Celestial foundations, ocean floor to the ranges, to the mountain tip, to the cosmic infinite. Basically, we are way above the shit. In other words, get in tune with spirit. Take a breath and accept mental polarity, gender, rhythm, correspondence, vibration, cause and effect.
More lives matter, cause it seems like black lives don't matter. More lives matter, cause it seems like black lives don't matter. More lives matter, cause it seems like black lives don't matter. More lives matter, cause it seems like black lives don't matter.
More lives matter, cause I sing it no sound off. It gets defected when rejected, looking nasty off. Get my perspective when direct you to replay. All the rules that one replay till they want to cast off. Bury them, on to the next one. Enough of them are run it down. Use them on cast straws. Can't believe I'm talking that. Can't believe a Taj Cross. Trayvon, Michael Brown died for us to find cause. The afterlife visited the class wrong. Who they really want to see with the crown on high and the guards on free? I am free and you know business but your land or your country to seek your inalienable rights. The insatiable delight of knowing thyself and bringing all injustice to light. What the fight is your play, make your sight for the bright. I'm the mic in the night. Foresight for you to realize that, huh?
More lives matter, cause it seems like black lives don't matter. More lives matter, cause it seems like black lives don't matter. More lives matter, cause it seems like black lives don't matter. More lives matter, cause it seems like black lives don't matter. King Boom.
The problem is we started thinking like the colonists, to know the true our leaders started propagating. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists, to know the true our leaders started propagating. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists, to know the true our leaders started propagating. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists, to
Dirty Moors still attempt to infiltrate the order. Active Moors are truth and take it to the corners. Across highways, past hedges and through borders. Move on dirty Moors like broken down waters. Watch out for agents and provocateurs trying to get next to their heads with the doctor's cures. They never pay dues and don't pay dues, contradicting with King Alfred to give clues like me. Noble Ali died from pale more blues. Prophet saved him his money before the floor fell through, and that's true. Even though I don't have proof, still memory tells me don't fall for spoof. Drop mental nuke, hanging from their own. Line from the fig tree, looking up at them like baby. No white flag or mercy for you fags. 5-point and pentagram is on our flag. Green, but not for cream. That dirty Moors took to throw off the balance of the grand treasury books. Getting offers like high school ballers. Those that infiltrate are not Moors but robbers. Robbing the people blind, deaf, dumb, and crippled. They can't tear this up, not one drop or trickle. No matter how hard they try to perpetrate the fraud, dirty Moors always fall on their sword.
The problem is we started thinking like the colonists, the know what you are, we started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists, they know what you are, we started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists, they know what you are, we started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists, they know what you are, we started dropping it.
Me not play with on so simmer and easy. From 19 how long, me see it's sleazy. So sick, it's measly and disgusting. Everyone stood there. The Moors did nothing when Drew was attacked. They took the covenant that they will protect him and have his back. Behind on dues by 4 months. Going to kangaroo courts to perform stunts. Temples versus temples. Lawsuits from inner fights. Not doing their job. 3,500 for birthright. Mufti Force left supposed to be in Gucci stores with God. Thank Allah for the Sufi Moors and Buddhist Nagas. Moorish Mike Renaissance, not rap sagas. Confusion clearer, MC battle star wearer. Moorish nationality declarer. Straighten out the crooked ways, rap conduct squarer.
The problem is we started thinking like the colonists, they know what you are, we started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists, they know what you are, we started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists, they know what you are, we started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists, they know what you are, we started dropping it.
Let me strip them down, I'm the bone bearer. Negro, black, colored, minority, death preparer. Not the being, but the label attached. See me like Martin, going crazy, waving gas. Cause they call yourself black, that's a kicking sign on your life. Can't stab your enemy holding the blade of the knife. Numbskull MCs flow so dull that I'm pulling down Orishas like skull caps to torture the rapper, scissor sippers. Rapper, CD scratcher, insert ripper. Call me Jack and get slapped though. Admiral when I flow major like macro. Don't spit on a cameraman like Pac will, but beat the case like Black Bill with no lawyer. Ask Jim Carrey, liars do nothing for you while they get rich and poor you. Make you follow magistrate orders that get the coke to snort from wood corners and block ghetto. All I see is rappers, dress codes, repedo, tight shirts, skinny jeans looking like heavy metal bands. I'm not babe but L like bread and hands. I grab mics, no sweat in hands with birthright brands. I don't worry about getting scanned.
The problem is we started thinking like the colonists, they know what you are, we started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists, they know what you are, we started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists, they know what you are, we started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists, they know what you are, we started dropping it.
You sat down and you attacked the master teacher because you thought you heard something that you didn't hear. That's the first violation. You don't come in. First of all, you come in and you act like you come in peace, but you don't. You got an agenda.
Moors of men upright, independent and fearless. Dogmatized, dirty Moors, tongues cut out, left earless. Cause they never listen. Dirty Moors, keep up your slander. Wu-Tang torture in your ass, hot hangers. Kidnappers, dirty Moor, torture him like Saw. 3D, 0.5 or 1 through 4. Or get it like 5 or 6 with the fez on jigsaw. Leather face in a turban, rip dirty Moors lips off. Disrespecting the mother, Ras Mariah Bay. Wrap him up like double crochet, the bar barbed wire way. Throw them off a bridge or feed them to the piranhas. Yellow journalists more spread nothing but propaganda. Idi Amin Bey, treat the temple like Uganda. Dirty Moors like foreigners, crush the dust like ganja. Not worthy of being Moors, we call them dirty Nehesus. Solomon Seal spell command 72 demons to get you.
This is what the temple guys actually say. That Canaan land is not a part of North America. Canaan land is bigger. Yo, it's ignorance, man. I mean, come on, you're talking about the same land mass. Canaan land is actually bigger than the land mass they know is the corporate United States. Almost twice as big. And if they had any sense, they can just go to Google and they can type in North America and find out North America goes all the way up to Greenland. But they're ignorant. They don't want to do that. They just dealing off emotion.
You might hear hoarse voices, see frog faces, and hoops with feet. Demons we run with, spit fire with gold wolf teeth. Keep playing, forget back teeth. New Moors are an issue, get Ginsu. Maybe a dream visit from Vishnu, a nightmare to never end and always continue. Cold as an igloo, dealing with my trust issues through vigilance. Active Moors are militants, SPLC dirty Moors call that sovereign citizen. Lying for views, they notice all the MCQs. Benz need gas and fixing, but not enough dues. Pigpen base sell you out for peanuts, claiming that we nuts for teaching birthright street level, keeping it beat nuts.
To any members of the MSTA that's out there listening to what I'm saying, please get it through your head. I don't have a problem with the MSTA. I got issues with
Cases Lamar, stay surrounded by pheasants. Dirt is guilty of fraud if dually scrutinize their ledgers. Getting proclamations from Morocco, disrespect us. Corporate city only recognize people's court jesters. Hand in their back, Moorish puppets and minions. Never get the human rights recognition like Moors near Virginia. Commonwealth, for active Moors knowledge, the Commonwealth. Dirties claim more, but really on the straw man help. Authenticating a birth certificate, that's not significant. Civil little more two status syndicates. In more face, watch them two more status Indians claiming Turtle Island are lying so intricate.
long days and long nights. But this message needed to be heard.
Message needed to be heard. Happy Holy Day to all the Moors worldwide. Happy Holy Day to all the Muslims. It's about to be on. Islam Moors.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
So where we okay, you know what we'll start with just your perspective where we're at as far as, you know, us as Moors. Like where we're at, where should we be going? Anybody could start.
Islam. As far as, I mean, when you say where we at, you mean as far as like as a people or like the Moors on the call at the moment?
However you take it.
Well, I can say us as a people, we are not there mentally, you know, and this, I don't know how many times this could be said, you know, so with that being the state of, you know, us as a people, it kind of grinds the gears of the Moors on this call who are there mentally. So if anybody really knew or was there mentally, they would know, you know, the seriousness of this. Like, this is not just a talk show or, you know, let me get on here and say something, let me do this in my car, you know. You know the seriousness behind this, the seriousness why, you know, even having to rebut
the same people over and over. And literally, it's getting kind of like, it's getting tiresome, you know? And where we at is that all this energy, you know, that people be exerting, they can just redirect that energy into where we at mentally, like where we at on the call. But, you know, it's just like everybody is a scholar in all of this, but none of these guys, even when they're reading, no one has ever spent finance for the mental clarity. And that's coming from a mindset where what I look like paying for a book, I could just find free PDFs. I could just go online. I could just, you know, type in, you know, Moors science or Moors American. But where I take in my stance, you know, a lot of people who they just do talk. And it's like, I really don't know, man. Like I say, we could be spending that energy towards, you know, talking strategy, not just complaining about what's going on out here. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to talk about what's being said on YouTube, or, you know, something they saw on YouTube, or everything you know about Moorish Science Temple come off of YouTube or off of some website, you know. But no one has ever dropped any finance for their mental clarity. And that's a bet, because every time you see them, you're always going to see their screen. You never see their face. You're going to see all the links they have up. So us as a people, we're not there mentally, and this is conflicting with the people who are there mentally. Like, for if I had as many as people who could jump on the We Are Moors bandwagon, opposed to the many people that's on the We Not Moors bandwagon, it's going back to like the breakfast fight that the prophet was talking about. Wow.
Yeah, I totally agree with the more Jeremy just put out there. Because, you know, again, you know, the people, they just talking. I literally live this every single day. You know, everywhere I go, you know, it's either Nationality card, which is 90% of the time, and the other 10%, if I got to live within contract, I do so. Just for the simple fact, I know none of that changes my, you know, my nationality. It does not change my blood, and that's what this is about. And, you know, I keep hearing people talk about this being religious and what's going on with the Moorish Science Temple, and they don't realize, I guess, that we understand that the Moorish Science Temple is infiltrated. You know, like, that's another thing that, you know, everybody's thinking is religion when you get to talking about it. When I got my turban on, they thinking religious. When I got my fez on, it's religious. No, it's national headdress. This is what I'm supposed to have on. But, you know, if I got on a baseball cap with the braids on or something, that's cool, fine, and dandy. You don't get no looks or none of that. That's, you know, that's the national headdress. Yeah, that's not it. You know what I'm saying? That's putting you, you know, you look like everybody else. You know, like, okay, you got on this so-called team and this brand. Now you just branded yourself again. Really, you know, like, we didn't used to walk around with. Well, I don't even know if we even had sports going on in that manner. It was just for sport, not like a lifestyle. Like, how we in a society where a teacher make less than somebody shooting a ball in a hoop. You know what I mean? Then wonder why everybody out here is stupid. You know, that's one of my biggest things is, you know, like, generational. Like, these adults that's pitching this right now without doing no study. You perpetuating what's going on right now. Just because you don't know, don't get out and say it to the masses here. You got youngers listening to this. When I run into the youngsters out here and talk to them and give them any information, they like, oh, I'm talking about literally calling my phone and trying to link up with me. A couple of children I ran into, they go to high school with my children, and they talk to my children about me. You know, like, oh, I didn't know that was your dad, this, that, the other, and they want to know more.
So it's like if other people got on that same thing, the children would pick it up, and they got this attitude where they're not going for the BS. Like they're not playing with this whole be authoritative over me. They understand, you know, hey, I'm autonomous. I can govern myself. And I told my children about the Declaration of Children's Rights, like you know, for children to have their rights, and they read that, and they looking like, well, the more I study, you saying I can take care of myself. Yeah, so they even want to study on that note. Like you know, I'm probably jumping around, but we got to get to being an example in my eyes, being an example.
Right.
Because again, every time I go out, I have no problem with the so-called foreigners. I run into Hindustani people all the time. I ran into one a little while ago at Walmart. I had to use the identification card to get something, and he tried to tell me that it has to be a driver's license. I told him, well, no, it don't. He's like, well, that's Walmart policy. I told him, well, that's Walmart policy, not mine. And I left with my stuff with no issue. He tried to tell me, I said, brother, where you from? He said, India. I said, you mean Hindustan? He said, no, India. I said, see, you the one sold out, not me. And we left it right there. And he just looked with the dumbest face. He see me turbaned up. And he just, you know, he had the shit face on because I called him out on his shit right there in his face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But again, I think it's just, you know, time to show. Like, more like really need to show and like quit talking to these dudes. And, you know, like all that Supreme Grand Council and all that stuff, man, I get where you coming from. Okay, fine and dandy. But I operate. I ain't use none of that. Like any kind of assistance I had, it came straight from a brother that I met via Brother Cujo and, you know, the internet on my own. Like a lot of more turned out to be tried and true, and a lot of more you tried them and oh man, it's like a nigga with a fez on. So, you know, it don't really, you know, like matter if you got a fez in the turban on, like our prophet told us. Some of your own will be the ones that lead you back. And that's what I'm seeing a lot of too.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, man, I yield on that. But it's just crazy. It's getting ridiculous, man. Like all the lies and the slander. It's like find out before you say something. Now I didn't say nothing to nobody until I knew. You know what I mean? Like I had people calling me wanting to have conversations, and I'm like, well, I can only talk to you about what I know. I'm not going to talk to you about something I don't know. You're not about to catch me like that. That's
right.
Islam,
right.
bro.
Islam.
Islam. I'm glad you said that because there's a lot of people that sit there in their video and they tell you what they think. Like, oh, well, I think that Noble Jew Ali didn't bring. Oh, okay, wait a minute. So you thinking? You think you don't know? You're not. You know. You don't know. So they'll sit there and do a whole 5-10 minute talk about something what they think should be, but they have no idea what it is. No idea. Sitting there with the pondered look, like, oh, well, I don't think the Moors are supposed to be doing that. I don't think Noble Jew. I'm like, oh, so you don't know? You're just sitting there just saying, I think, and everybody's, oh, you see, I don't know. What do you mean? He said he thinks. He don't know. He's just talking.
Yeah, he believes. Like, come on, man. Like, your beliefs and stuff not welcome to the table when you talking truth. It's like, when the truth is on the table, you got to accept it. I know it shapes your very foundation, but it's like, that foundation needs to be shook. If you're not having something built on a firm foundation, it's bound to fall. So all the things that's built on that shaky foundation is falling now. And it's like, why are you picking up the bricks of something that's crumbling? Like, you know, you resuscitating a dead corpse. You keep pumping life into it and complaining about it. It's like, check out what you're downing, because the thing that you're downing is really your salvation. And it's not a group of people that's going to do it. It's you individually. Like, it's more to get back to being individuals. You know what I mean? Like, because we independent, upright, and fearless. Not a group of Moors, but if you can get with a group of Moors, that's fine. But you got to start with yourself. Yeah. Everybody got to get cleansed out. You know what I mean? Like, man, we've been through some BS, all of us. Then heaped up with lies on lies. And then you're going to come out and perpetuate more about what you think. It's like, you got to know, man. I did the whole going off of what was on the internet for a minute, and it got to a point where I'm like, hold on, man, I'm going right back. I could feel myself getting turned around. Then I just started buying buku books. Now I forget the internet. I can get the book. If I'm going to do anything on the internet, trust me, it's a real quick search. Probably Google Maps. That's about it. I would rather have a book, hard copy, please.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Why the book, though?
Well, because the book, because you can physically touch it.
Yeah, just from the perspective of studying and the vibes of studying. Because yeah, you can get the PDF or whatever, but what is it about the book?
Well, actually touching the book, going through the pages, highlighting, writing down what I see to write it over, because that's getting embedded in the subconsciousness. And, again, really the highlighting and the notes. And then, the book is really from that date. It has a copyright date. Like I got a book from 1856. That's my dictionary, Noah's Webster. And that's how I found out the definition of American and what black truly was. At first, I was listening to everybody on the internet, and I'm laughing about it. I'm like, man, people stupid. And I thought about it, like, damn, you stupid, because you don't know for sure if they true. Then I got the book, and I seen it for myself, and it was like, oh, okay, because the internet can be changed. Anybody can type anything on the internet. Same thing goes to the book, but me, I superimpose what when I started learning, I superimpose black and Indian. I know that meant more. I know where it's supposed to go, and when you do that, you get a truer sense. Well, I get a truer sense from it. Right. That's my take on it.
That's
I love that. Like, I'm glad that's a great question, because like earlier, my friend was here, and he's holding one of my old dictionaries, and he's like, man, they don't even make them like this anymore. And I'm like, exactly. That's the part right there when you didn't even open it yet, and you just, man, what is this? Like, yeah, what is this? Like, right, all of that before you even open it up. You know what I mean? With the texture. I mean, I got old, like you said, books from the 1800s. Those books, like, you're like, yo, what material is this? I have a Bible that says made from the 1800s. It says made with Moroccan. Wow. It doesn't say made with leather. It says made with Moroccan. Well, Moroccan, a lot of books then was made out of skin. Right. And leather is basically skin. And that's exactly what the leather is. It's skin of an animal. And the word for leather, for skin, is Moroccan, right in the dictionary. And say, right, that's like, you got books in the 1800s. My Bible said made with Moroccan. That's as soon as you open up, how you use books. So they make it seem like, oh, the Moors wasn't in the Bible. Right? I got it first page, front cover. Right there. Made with it. Made with
That's
it.
not fair.
But exactly. That's not fair.
And also, like, first page. with my book from the 1800s, I got signatures, and it came from owner. So I got signatures and whatever they use to bookmark it, and I think there was a couple pennies that was in here from the 1800s. I got pennies that somebody from the 1800s left in the book as a bookmarker. You know what I mean? So I got heirlooms.
You find you killing them right there. Especially like if you get books from the thrift store, you find gold inside those books. Literally, literally, I find some gold in one of those books. A little chain inland or something like that. I don't found amazing things in books. Yeah. And like you can see like people's notes and stuff like that, and like like from you're reading somebody's notes from the 1800s, and you're like, yo, this is amazing. You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna get that on a PDF. Mm-hmm. You just handwritten. It's handwritten. You know what I mean? You're looking at it, you're like, man, they wrote cursive crazy back then because everything was cursive back then. Yeah. We write regular or whatever now. The penmanship back then, you had to write in cursive. So all the notes is in cursive. And then like, I had a dictionary that I had got from the thrift store. Blackamore was already highlighted. It's like, you're not going to get that from a PDF. And I'm sitting there staring around like, yo, is the guy here? I never forget it. I never forget it. I'm sitting there looking for him like, yo, he's here, he's watching me. Like, all that from a book, just because it's the book. It's the real thing. It's the real thing. One of the dictionaries, we're just looking at the cover, it got 3 prints on it.
And my boy's like, oh, they must have had something on it. And I'm like, yo, we haven't even opened up the book yet. And you're already, you know, all the stories behind what did it go to? Just the book, they are.
Yeah.
That's why I love the thrift store books. And you know, like traveling, like when I went down, wherever I go, when I travel, first thing I'm going, I gotta find a thrift shop. I gotta find the ancient books. I have to find them. I have to find them. When I was in so-called Darien, Georgia Corporation, I got three more dictionaries. So let me it's called now I'd never heard of this. It was called Webster's New International Dictionary with Reference History, India Paper Edition. I said, what the hell is that? but when you look it up, now look it up. The book is like brownish copper. You know, it's like a foot long. You know what I mean? It's the real deal. You know, like it got that fine thin paper sheet that you find in the beginning of Bibles in the dictionary. You know what I mean? Like it got them every other page. It has that, and you know that picture, right? And my boy said, "Yo, who's that?" I said, "That's Webster." Oh, that's Webster before the white hair. He was dying laughing.
Hey, I literally got that picture right here, like in my Webster's dictionary, and it's between those same kind of pages. And the book's so old that the picture has stain on that page. You're talking like a carbon copy of it.
Like literally. Yeah.
The shroud of Turin all over again.
Exactly. You're not getting it, but admit you're not gonna get that from a PDF.
Yeah.
No, not at all. And too, like, think about it. The everything that's on the internet is really, well, I won't say everything, but majority of it is going to be information. Well, it is. It's all information put out ex post facto, and we know everything ex post facto is going to lead you in a direction astray from what it is. So for me for me to have a book that is from that time period that's talking what I'm learning, that also, you know what I'm saying, solidifies it for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Other than me getting it off of a new age computer, like, again, not knocking computers at all, but it's like at some time you got to put it down. Then the book not killing my eyes with the blue screen either. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna leave with a headache from a book unless I just stayed up too long reading the book. With the book pages itself, not gonna give you a headache or ruin your eyes. You know what I mean?
Right. You're looking at that screen all day with that light on. That's giving you exactly. And then I thought the other day too with the book, because they're getting rid of books and everything's on the internet. And then I said that's the new age of burning books now.
Well, you seen Fahrenheit? Was it 451? Fahrenheit?
Right. Yeah. I said, yo, they're still burning the new thing of books because they're like, oh, we're getting rid of books on the internet. And I'm like, what do you mean you're getting rid of it? How? Where'd it go? Where'd the book go? Like, okay, it's on the internet. No. You couldn't put the book in the internet. Physically, you can't do that. What happened to the book? Where's the book? I want the hard thing. What happened to it? You keep saying, oh, we threw it out. It got shredded. I'm like, oh, no, you can't. Why? It's they're still, quote unquote, burning books, but in the guise of it's on the internet. Yeah, okay. It's on the. I go to there's two colleges in between where I domicile. It's one called Brooklyn College or whatever. I went there one time, because they had a library. So I go there, and I see the librarian. Right, I go to the counter. I said, "Where's the books?" Right? She goes, "Oh, a majority of them are on the internet, but we have like a selection over there." Some BS, and I'm like, it's like 30 books over here.
Hold on, what's that word? Try it. Yeah, go ahead.
It was like 30 books. It was just 30 books over there in the college. This is a college. This is a college that I'm at. And it only had like 30 books in the little corner. Everything on the internet, PDF. You can download it. And I'm like, yo, where's the books at?
Yeah.
It's incredible. My boys here. This is how important books are. My boy is here. And we're going over, you know, how many dictionaries or a school would have. You know, and I already asked my son. I said, y'all got any dictionaries in your school? No. Over it? None. There's no dictionaries in this school. So I told my boy, we went to this school called Central. I said, I had more dictionaries in my house than all of Central High School. And then I counted them. I had 37 dictionaries. Just in my house alone, I had 37. And I'm like, yo, school, I have more dictionaries in my house than schools, than colleges. That's how important books are.
You made me want to get my dictionary game up now.
I got a dictionary of anything. Anything I got a dictionary of. For real. I got a dictionary of anything.
No, hold on, though, because I don't want people to get it messed up either. Because you have to remember, the key to the game is what he said at the beginning. Thrift store, right? So don't think about online. Same thing that we're talking about. No PDF.
No
PDF.
Real Moors know where you get the steals from. Oh yeah.
Thrift store.
I got a first call.
They be giving out. You find you a good one, a good little person that works the register too, who don't feel like ringing up all them books, brother. They just be throwing books in your bag. They be like, oh, I'm not ringing up all that. Here, take it. Just sitting there. Boom, 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 boom. I'll be like, yo, this is crazy. And I'm looking at, because they have no idea. They don't take the time to sit there and look up how much those books are so-called worth. They don't do that. Like, it's a bunch of books in there. They're not going to do it. I do. I'll sit there and look, and I'm like, these Webster dictionaries, you look online, they be like 1,500 notes. But you get them at the thrift store for $1. One note. They had their. Remember I told you they gave me the Black Law Dictionary 5th edition. One note. I spent, what was it, two notes and 10 cents. I could have took the taxes off, but I said whatever. But 2 notes and 10 cents.
Yep.
Black Law Dictionary. All right, let's go. Black Law Dictionary and a Random House Dictionary. I got them both for 2 notes. Thrift store.
2 notes. Oh yeah, and the more in the chat said, and garage sales, and also estate sales.
Oh yeah, that's where I got. Of course, the garage sales is that's number one. It's all of that. That's why I got the Bible with the Made in Morocco from a garage sale. Old European lady gave it to me. Her notes in it is crazy. She knows exactly who everybody is in there. She wrote. She put it in there. The 12 tribes of the black people. That was her notes. She wrote that on the side in the Bible. I was like, yo, look, this little old European lady on it in the garage sale. That's a whole nother. You're not gonna get that in the PDF. You know, I remember that old European lady. I remember the house I was at when I got it. That's all over for a book.
Yeah.
Seriously. And too, I do a lot of work in different people's houses, and majority of Europeans, they got literally homes, and it's just house. You got DVDs galore and stuff like that, but no books. Magazines and shit, but no books.
Oh yeah. All you got is Jet magazine and Ebony and all that.
And stuff. Yeah, that's for real, man. No, and our people fighting a war against each other. It's like we're causing our own strife because, I don't get no problem from the Europeans. Even the Shriners, we had Shriners down in the Georgia territory out in the streets with their little buckets. I don't get
Man,
no issue
what
with
do you
people.
what do you mean, man? Moors get arrested and stuff like that. What do you mean that what are you talking about? That Europeans respect something. Europeans
I'm
don't
free,
respect
man.
Moors.
I'm free.
Europeans don't respect Moors.
More, I remember when I first came in the game, I met the brother Pocky Bay, and I went to go do a job with the Moor, and we ended up getting pulled over. And I'm like fresh out the water, learning, what it is to be a Moor. Man, we had no issue. I didn't have a nationality card. I didn't even have to tell the man what I was or any of this. He pulled me to the side and wanted to talk about my copper jewelry and my feathers. You know what I mean? I had no issue with him. It was marijuana found in the vehicle, everything, gold plates on that thing and everything. We rolled away, no problem. I'm talking about no problem. And at the end of the video, you can hear the policy enforcement talking about peace. When they leave, we know where we pulling off. And the driver was stateless. They just knew, like Pocky told him, I'm a Moor, my man a Moor, and that was the end of it. Whatever he had conversation he had with Pocky, that was what he had with him. But as far as me, it was a wrap. Nothing, no problem. I had physical altercations with the policy enforcers and left unscathed, no jail time, none of that. It was like, well, you go your way, I'm gonna go mine. Again, it's a frequency thing. It's an energy, man. People they thinking it's just about books and paperwork. It's far beyond that. It's like, where are you at in life? You know what I mean? Where is your spirit really at? And not just your breath, your whole being. Where are you? You know what I mean?
And again, for the record, the paperwork, you don't need that. It's a courteous. It's a courtesy, right?
Indeed.
Because as far as putting somebody on notice or so getting into 7 locations and all that don't mean that's the end of your problems and stuff.
Oh no. That's proof. That really is going down because I almost forgot about the Bodecan. He'll kill me for saying that. About the Moors, my Moorish brother who speaks Moorish Latin fluently. That's what I like to say about him. He's a Moor. He'll kill me if I call him Bodecan. He'll be like, well, are you Black Power? I'll be like, no, I'm like, I ain't Bodecan. I'm a Moor. But like, don't play with me. Right, but when he got pulled over with 3 other unconscious Moors, but he was conscious of who he was. I'm talking about no paperwork, no ID, no 7 locations. Still to this day, this happened like 3 years ago. He still to this day has none of that. Still standing on his square doing the same thing to this day. He got pulled over. When he got pulled over, they gave his boy a ticket, his other boy a ticket, and the last man, he gave him 2 tickets. Why? Because we can't give the Moor one, so we gave him 2. That's exactly what the highwayman told him. That's exactly what the highwayman told him. But the Moor told him, don't worry about it. I'm gonna pay for it because you're my brother. You know what I mean? Like, don't. I'm gonna help you get through what you got to get through. You know what I mean? But it was. I'm like amazed. Didn't bother the Moor. Let the Moor let him go. No pay. They ask him for his ID. I don't have no ID. I told you who I was. I told you who I was. Call your boss. Call your boy. And they had to. They called him up on the scene, and he tried to do the "so you're a Moor" thing, huh? Okay, all right, okay. But you don't have a name. You have it, my boy. Son. I have an appellation. I'm Munir Salam El Bay. And I was like, oh, this brother is still dangerous to this day, still doing the same thing. No, nothing. Because it's not about clubism. Right. Birthright.
Exactly.
It's your blood.
Blood.
For real. A lot of Moors was soft before they got here. So, that's my opinion. Again, that's my opinion. That's my disclaimer, yo. But like a lot of Moors was soft before they got here, and they still, want somebody to hold their hand. They still doing soft stuff. You never stood up for anything before. You know what I mean? So
I don't think that's an opinion though, Amir. Honest.
Hey man, I'm just gonna try to keep it, keep it non-biased. But for real, that's just the thing. It's like you really have to strap on your stuff. You really have to strap them on like right now. You know what I mean? Like you're under occupation. Majority of your people are against you. Like we're supposed to be showing sameness and uniformity, yet everybody is talking, opposite of that. Even in the Moorish Science Temple, like we know that the temple's been infiltrated. We know that we don't need the temple because you are that temple. But the people that's coming in, they hearing people from the temple talk and finding out about 501c3s and all this old BS. But it's just like, really, just be yourself. Get here, get to the point where you understand it, and then just start to be you. That's it. But if you was already soft, I don't think you're really gonna, you're not gonna break no surface on nothing. You're gonna get the same reply that a soft person would get. You know what I mean? If you weak, then you're gonna get that. People forget about the laws of attraction and things of that nature too. Right. Like Moors is way more than books. If anything, Sufi. So we talking mysticism. We talking mystics. We talking energy and frequency here. So even when people talking, stay in contact with their ancestors and stuff like that, I get it. You are. But what it is, your ancestor was a Kurdian too. Your ancestor was a Morisco. Your ancestor was a Converso. You know what I mean? Like that's why the prophet said he knows who was in the ranks because we was with him then. So all these people that's opposing is like, to me, it's to the point where, go ahead and oppose. But if you new trying to come in and get some information, it's like, don't let these people just pull you in that direction. You know what I mean? Like, stand up for yourself. Study for yourself. Don't let Dane Calloway tell you nothing. He Dane Calloway. How you going to tell you what a Moor is?
First off, wait. Wait. This is the same guy. Let's put this on the record. This is one thing they hate Moors to do. Let's put it on the record. All right, check this out. You don't have to put nationality on the record, papers on the record. But look what they putting on the record. Right? So, because I killed all of these people a year ago. Now, a year ago, the same guy was saying, find your true nationality. That's how he just blew up, like, right? He blew up because he was telling people he was stealing from RV Bay and never giving homage, and then pitching this statelessness, talking about all these people who are considered stateless, and holler at me if you want to establish your true nationality. That's when I made the video. How you talking nationality and statelessness when you are still Calloway? Mm-hmm. Now, fast forward, we tripping about nationality, and nationality is sending you back into and you're a 501c3. I really still don't understand that because I'm not a piece of paper. You know what I mean? So we come on record. I give kudos to any more who put it on the record. But since we putting things on the record, let these people understand. If they brought up Dr. Umar Johnson, Breakfast Club video on him, realize that these people putting what they saying. All these people in the car, all these people who never show their face, mind you, because even this quote unquote government, all that's registered. No matter if you got a YouTube, email, they know who you are. You don't have to show your face. You still putting on the record that propaganda you pushing. So y'all could talk all that about this and that. All right, you don't have to worry about what we have dealing with. Like I say, I'm free to this day. You know what I'm saying? Like I never, like I don't know what these people on. Like how Amir say, operation every day. It's not like I'm waiting for these phone calls to be the best more I could sound like and stuff like that. I'm doing this every day. Like I'm even just like I say, I'm not even running into people who tell me something. You're a sellout, screaming out the window and nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But all these people who on the damn internet, probably still stay with their mama. You know what I'm saying? Probably, taking care of your grandma, and then you go in the basement and make hate videos about the Moors and stuff. Like y'all, cause like you on the record. I'm gonna just put that. You still on the record.
Yeah. Like they talk about Moors is on some kind of watch list and all that. It's like, man, quit playing. Like say what's true. We can't be on no watch list because I don't have no problem going to no kind of building, no time with my identification card or anything. Right. Like what more is having these issues? And if it is a more having that issue, again, I'm gonna take it back to where is that more at in their life? You know what I mean? It ain't just throwing a turban in the feds and say no with Drew Ali and Islam and you good now. Yeah. You can forget that. You know, you can forget that. That's not what this is.
Straight up.
You know, they're looking for the keys, the code words, huh?
Yeah. You know, like same thing. Injunction and do not detain. Do not detain me is gonna come out my mouth. Like you gonna know you ain't about to detain shit. Like you know it. Like I don't have to have this barcode to tell you that. I could put anything on the barcode if I wanted to. I can have it say Amir Sharif Hill is the Sultan of Morocco if I wanted to. Like come on, man. Anybody could do a barcode. That's still commerce. It's like, come on, Mark. Like you got to get better than that. Like do better. Like I guess they can't do better because they don't know no better kind of thing. That's why I'm at with it.
They not even trying to know.
No, that's what I was just gonna say.
Nope.
Because they could know. They're not trying to know.
Yeah. Because we know that belief is a degree, and we know when you grow up, you know, that you begin to know. So, if, like I said, going back to everybody out here only speaking of like how Yusuf just said earlier. So you telling me you think, like, you know how dangerous that is? Like, let's say we're stranded, right? And like, I think we came in this way. You think you're getting out of that?
No, I think we came in that way.
or is it? Oh yeah, man, I remember this. I mean, you may not have known this, but I was already marking the land and making my own markers. Yeah, I know our way out of this. Not just, tell them. Not just, I think we went in this way, so let's go this way and all that. Now you got the whole, you actually have people following you. Come on, y'all. I think this is the way. Come on now. And the people who following you, they ain't even tripping because you just said you think you know the way out.
Hey, Mark, I don't want to cut your wisdom at all. It is a paralegal in the chat today.
Oh, I was just gonna get out my head. Get out my head.
Hey, I told you, Morris, get off metaphysical. Like for real, like come on, bro. You a paralegal and you about to tell more or something? You a barrister. Like you don't even you British. What you talking about? Like can he call in? You know what I'm saying? Or anything? It's just like, why would you even come to this chat and say these things? Like, who are these people? You know what I mean? Like, where did you come from?
All these
even
people are sent.
What,
definitely sent
3 years ago even.
Definitely sent.
3 years ago it wasn't this tough, man. It was not this tough. It was not this many naysayers. It just wasn't. It wasn't even this many Moors saying something against it. And then he a paralegal. I'm pretty sure he got a Black Law Dictionary. You know what I mean? So he really get it. He just fighting for his Joe. Man, let the day come when we can really get out in the streets and fight. That's what I'm talking about. Like some of these people need to lose their head, bro.
They're gone.
And that's me on the record with that one. Amir. It's getting beyond irritating.
That's the problem. It should be so easy. That's gonna happen. That's gonna happen.
Well,
they told you on King Alfred.
It's getting ridiculous. I mean, beyond ridiculous. Everybody wants this so-called help and remedy, but the thing is, the help and the remedy, you fighting against it with no study. Like, at least check it out for yourself. Like, that's what I'm saying. And then if you still, you know, you're still cloudy or something, then, you know, you can get a little pass or something to retry at least. But just going off of hearsay, man, you in for it. You in for it.
And you know what's crazy?
Early.
Crazy.
The Moors are black and pale people today due to incest. And he's from Harvard? Okay. Wow. Yes, I give you. I take my flares out to you more for even staying around this long, even dealing with this kind of stuff. I see why the prophet was even like, I should leave y'all more.
Yo, straight up. Dang, I should leave y'all
it's
more.
Like, God damn. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro.
What the hell is what the hell else is there to do? What else is there to do? But Hulk smash everything. You know what I mean?
That's all you can do, really, because I mean, you can't sit idle and just let somebody keep saying, you know what I mean? Yeah, there's only so much you're gonna say before somebody come out and, you know, come your way.
Yeah, well, I mean,
just like right now.
That's the part of you know what I mean, us being the ones who are here standing up. You know what I mean? While some people want to just go in their corner and not deal with the sellout. You know, because they have an agenda. And like you're saying, certain people maybe need to get checked. Because
they do.
People,
I'm like, again, I deal in real life. Excuse me, Mark, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Mark.
I was just saying, you know, like, I deal in real life, and it's like only so many times you can do something and what, you know, going unchecked. Like, if somebody's doing something on your block and you just let them keep doing it, then they're going to continue and they're going to overrun you. So for us to sit idle and let these dudes just keep on saying, they're going to basically like overrun the truth, because the people not getting out here on their own to do it. They're using this one medium. Right now, I would just use YouTube and I could say Instagram, for instance. You know, y'all using those mediums, so it need to be opposing force. You know what I mean? We got duality out here. You know, we got to stay on that too. We know it's going to be duality. It's not never going to change. No different from that. Not on this plane anyway. So, you know, deal with it in that manner. No. More just need to really stand up, especially the men. Because like, the men got to set an example for the sisters. You know what I'm saying? Because basically, I guess you see sisters out here, you know, looking at the whole monetary thing. You know, because you got to think. You know, you got a household, you got children to feed, this, that, and the other. And if you can't help me provide, then a sister really not trying to hear that. So I just would implore more to get real active with their activity. You know, get out here and do something more. You know what I'm saying? And let people know who you are. Show the world. You know what I'm saying? Persons up, says it's up, man. You know what I mean? Like, what's the deal? You can put on all these skinny jeans. You can change all the fashions, but you can't get with that. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on. Like,
I think my more like the fact that I go out there, you know, and do what I got to do to make sure that we still live the way we need to live. You know what I mean? But I'm not doing it for no European or working for somebody else or something like that. Like, I'm doing it. Like, I'm going out there. I could tell, because she'd be like, when I come home, you know, she know I'm tired. You know, like before, when I used to go to work, she'd be like, you ain't do nothing all day. And I'd be like, how could you say that? You know, but now she knows, like, this man was up early, you know, because you're doing, when you work for yourself, you, like the mother said a long time ago, you work 24/7. You know, like, you always working. Like, you be sleeping thinking about, okay, I'm gonna do this and I do this and I do this, and you're sleeping. You know, because you gotta make it happen. It's just you. You know, your motorbike give you way more respect, and it's not like she thought she was gonna do it like that. It just be like that because she see it. She, you know, you guys are living it. You see how hard you working. Like, somebody's gonna give you that credit because it's happening. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, it's like that because that's the way it should be. You know, like, it's going on. Like, work hard. I'm up 5:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, trying to get my boy ready, get ready to get, you know, flip these houses out here and stuff like that. Because I'm fixing them up. You have to get in contracts, my own personal contracts and stuff to help fix the houses.
I'm gonna have to come see you. That's what I do.
Right. You know, it's easy, you know, but I'm trying to figure out a way now to where I can do it Look, I already know what it is. I need more, you know, we need each other. We need more. Every time I try to think of doing something, I'm like, dang, I need more Moors. First thing I'm like, I need more Moors. As soon as I get a plan, I'm like, I just need some more Moors. As soon as I start thinking, if I had a couple more Moors around me, we'd be good.
It's too easy to do these things in numbers because like you got a bunch of like minds. That's when you talking being a state. You know what I mean? Like we can take ourselves and do certain things, but it's like again you got to be on that sameness. You have to be on one accord. It's like you get to playing the music and Moors is all off key on something else. It's like hold on. I know Grand Sheik just dealt with that when the Moors came up there to see him to know what Ali Day. Moors couldn't make it up there because some people wanted to do opposite of what the rest of the group was doing.
Right.
And that's what we got going on out here. It's like, Ali Bey's been killing the game for, I don't know how long exactly, at least, I'm going to say at least 10 years. I know more than 10 years, but I'm going to say 10. But it's like, we got a newbie come in and they got national identification cards and you go with the newbie? Like, he just learned from Ali Bey, so why would you do that?
Right.
It's like, what's your reasoning behind it?
Yeah.
And it's like all the slandering of the mothers. It's like, dude, majority of us wouldn't even have heard of this in a de jure manner if it wasn't for the mothers putting it out here. But then it's like,
and you
don't even know who the mothers are.
Right. Yep. To add on what you're saying too, brother, a lot of the stuff is, you know, because Noble Ali is a man. Like the prophet is a man. Oh, he's the man. If you look at his way he says the letters to be read at every meeting, you know, like the fame and nobility, they're jealous because they want to be the ones in position. Like he tells you everything. The reason why people the way they are, the reason stuff is, he's telling you. He's been told us. And I'm like, yeah, this man wrote this stuff in the 20s. And we in so-called 2019, and it's the same thing going on still. Right now, same exact order. People mad doing hateful and saying hateful things about us because they want to be the ones. They want to be look at me, follow me. I'm the one that. Because Dan Calloway has nationality paperwork, and the guys hating on RV Day and follow me. I'm the guy. Mm-hmm. That's that's jealous of the prophet's fame and nobility. You want to be the guy,
right.
You know, the prophet Ben said it. And I'd be like, yo, you Ben said, you know, it's only going to be a handful of saved. You Moors are going to need each other the most. And I'm like, yo, he Ben said all of this stuff. And it's still the same thing. Like, nothing's changed. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Whatever he said back then, go ahead, brother.
No, I don't want to cut you, bro.
No, I was just saying, you know, because with them slandering the mothers and stuff like that, even that, but him carrying the mothers, the uplifting and following, nothing's changed. It's the same stuff going on, you know, and it's like the prophet was the man, you know. And I don't want to change the subject, but that man makes it seem like we have a problem too with Noble Ali's mother and father being so-called, you know, labeled as Indians.
Oh, you want to play? You want to play that? Play that one first?
Oh yeah.
All right. Let me put this on the record real quick, dude. All right. One is that he said that he's only selling nationality packages for people to buy it, read it, and see that it's BS. That was one. And two,
no. Say that again. Please say that again for the people. Please say that again for the
on the record. And I have the video. He said he's only selling nationality packages for people to buy it and see that it's BS. I didn't gotta buy it.
Why do you have to buy it?
Man, my nationality is only 7 pages, bro. That's a legal notice and name correction. Then you got 6 pages for the judicial notice of proclamation. 6 pages, not 77. And I ain't had no issues with it. Nobody didn't send it back to me and said, hey, you just sent me some fraudulent shit, or nobody ain't hit me up for mail fraud or none of these things. And the locations that you send them to, I'm pretty sure, you know what I'm saying, this is the same people that everybody's scared of when you talk to Alphabet Boys and Department of Justice and things of that nature.
All this other stuff.
Not only that, is that literally the class, Sunday class, I just spoke about Noble Drali father, and I told people what book they can go get if they want to know more about that.
Yeah.
That's the ear hustle game.
Fraud.
That's the ear hustle game.
And not only that, is that if anybody spend notes for the mental clarity of what it is, you will have First World Order where he talk about Eliza Turner. Yep. And that's Alim Il-B, First World Order, where he put that on the record. So these people full of it. And I don't know what more they talk about, but the more that I came into, like, run into or, you know, get reference points from, it's been more revealing than I don't know who they deal with, but like I said, like when I even first class, because I didn't even know who Cujo was, like, you know, I was studying, but I didn't even know. I used to always see Canaanland Moors Stop, but I didn't know. And the first class I saw, this dude read out of one book and cleared up so much stuff, like, and then from then on, I ain't never missed it. Well, I did miss some classes, but you know what I mean? It's just like I don't know nobody who just like hiding stuff, because all this stuff they tell me, why nobody speak of the Cherokee? You don't even have the 101.
Yeah.
I just not telling you about Noble Drali. You don't even have Moorish literature, none of that.
Right.
And there, you know, everybody else don't. So you can make a video and talk some foolishness, because nobody know the man literature. Nobody read his words. They got more wearing turbans and feathers who don't even read the Quran. They don't even know what Noble Drali really brought. But they just
no zodiac
ready to talk.
No zodiac constitution, no clock of destiny. Forget that we talking zodiac constitution. Everybody got a birthday, the belly button, and the whole nine. You know, I'm a Capricorn, I'm a Libra, I'm a Cancer, but forget who put it out there for you to know these things. You know what I'm saying? Just forget that part. Like, man, quit playing.
But yeah, you could play the video. I just had to put that on the record because we just did Sunday class. Well, I put that on the record.
Yeah. Well, that's a good one. You need to go in. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Because if you're going around saying Capricorn season and all of that, you need to know the origin of all of that comes from the Moors. You really need to know that. Because they run around and say that this is such and such season and all that comes from the Moors.
But to come back with you more, like check this out. That's how you navigate. Is with your natal chart. And it's like ain't nobody done that. And then who gave you the natal chart? Who put it out there for you to be able to navigate your way through life? Not today's grocery list and shit like that, but life itself. You know what I mean? Like, what are your strong suits? What are your weak suits? Everybody want to check out what a Cancer is and what the strong suits on it, but forget the bad parts of it. You know what I mean? Like, you leave that part all undisclosed, and I ain't gonna deal with that.
Like
that's what you're supposed to do to get yourself together.
Like you don't know.
Ridiculous, man.
Shit.
Glad you got the floor, boy.
Yeah, I'll play them.
That's just what we talk.
That's putting you back in slavery, you know, trying to claim your nationality. That don't even make any sense, you know? So
yeah, how can you say that?
What the question that I have for
listen to this shit, user.
The Moorish Americans or so-called Moorish Americans, the question that I have is, why is anybody not talking about his mother and his father?
Islam, Grand Sheik.
Islam, boy, go ahead.
Now the slander with the so-called, how can you so-called Moors? What's that? That's what you mean? I've never heard a European say such a thing. So-called Moors.
Never in my life.
Never.
But wait, it's the same. Oh, it's the same dude who said his grandfather knew Timothy Drew.
His granddaddy was a sellout.
Hold on. Wait. But if you know your granddaddy know Timothy Drew or whatever, I don't see nowhere even in the one-on-ones where he said y'all are so-called Moorish Americans.
Right.
Like, why are you so-called Moorish Americans and none of that?
They kill themselves every time.
He just getting started. He say some of the dumbest stuff. They boy say, well, just I'll let him say it on his own.
His father was John A. Drew Quitman, and he was a Cherokee. He was a Cherokee responsible for the military, and he was a political leader. Now, his mother's name was Eliza Quitman.
What was his regiment?
She was full-blooded Washita Tanuka Indian.
All right. So, okay. So this was uploaded February 21st, 2019. Right. Now, for the record, when was it that you brought up the book, Brother Jeremy?
Matter of fact, let me put on the record again. The Confederate Cherokees, right? By what's the more who wrote it? W. Craig Gaines. The Confederate Cherokees, John Drew's regiment of mounted rifles.
And just to recap, just because people think, we don't want to talk about the history of Noble Drew Ali's parents or whatever, because they were Indian or Cherokee or whatever. Because we were talking about the thing with the books, was that just a regular purchase, or was that one of those books that got to you mysteriously?
I went and purchased this because I was watching a deal where I shared the Duke of Tears. He always dropped book references. And when he spoke, he said, "Y'all want a book for real?" And he said this name, like go look it up. John Drew is on the cover of the book, and then take that picture and go get the picture with Noble Drew Ali sitting in a chair or any picture of Drew Ali and put it next to the cover of this book. So this was actually a book reference that I heard on one of the brothers I feel is Bill, and like I say, go read it, go get it, spend some finance, right? Don't go get it, because you can't even. Matter of fact, I tried to get the free PDF. You can't even get the free PDF of this book.
And let me add on real quick, too, Brother Jimmy.
Go ahead, Mo. Go ahead.
Just the fact that when Brother Asir, when the Duke, when he did the lecture, when I saw the lecture, like 4 years, when I first saw it, like four years ago, it already had said 6 years on YouTube. So now, it's been 10, 11 years since that lecture.
Yeah.
Where was this guy at 10 years ago when Asir talked about the prophet's father being Cherokee Indian and all of that? When he referenced this book, Cherokee and Confederate nations or whatnot. 10 years ago, he did this lecture. He says, why doesn't the Moors talk about Noble Drew Ali and his father being Cherokee Indian? Asir did it 10, 11 years ago. Where were you at? Where were you at?
And 10 years ago, Ali put on the record about his findings about Elijah Turner.
There you
First World
I
Order.
think it was the debate with SETI.
Yeah. First World Order. Beat them up.
Like I think Ali's book is what 100 notes. They won't spend 100 notes for the truth. They won't. And then Confederate Cherokee, when I purchased it, it was like 16 notes. They don't even want to spend 16 notes. The books on RVB, they're $3 books that could clear it up.
$3.
three fiat notes, and you don't want clarity, because that's going back to the niggerish mindset where what I look like buying this, I could find it myself, or I don't need that book. I have enough history that I know, but it's only coming from the internet, bro. Like, and I have nothing against it because there is some good things out there, but if you don't have no books, you can't even search the internet right. So when you run into a site where they start talking about morals or this and all that, you don't have enough books or enough foundation, you'll start believing the stuff you read. Why do you think people go to SPLC as a reference?
For real.
Why do you think everybody thinks Moors come from North Africa and that's it? Like, North Africa ain't even big enough to be the foundation or the exportation of the Moors or whatever. That's why it's the world, because there's no place that could fit Moors in where that's where they come from.
This man said,
so
proclaiming your nationality puts you a slave.
And then not only that, I have not only that, it's a video I have where Dane Calloway is admitting that he don't turn his nose up to the information that the Moors bring. But now he talking all of this other stuff. He got everybody else making videos in their car and all of this.
Now, this is the reason why I say you cannot mix your heritage with religion.
Okay, as well.
Don't go together. We're talking about your heritage.
That's colored. Because we know. We talking about nationality and birthright. We not talking about religion. We the first ones that say that. We talk like that. First of all, him saying so-called Moors say talk like that. Him saying him what he just said. Everything they do when they talk, they study from Moors, and then try to take it and flip it and throw us under the bus with it. Like that's colored. How can you say when you know Moors are telling you that's not a religion? Right. Like that's one of the first things we say. Like right after we say the black stuff, we have to clarify that it's not a religion, because people automatically think all the time that it's a religion, and we clarify it right up. Like we're not talking about religion at all. Period. Like that was colored. Another slander move that they do, because they know Moors tells them like this is not a religion. Like I don't know, like and he said it too. He killed himself because the prophet started when he already know that the prophet started the Canaanite temple, which was a civic. It was civic. It wasn't religion where he brought. That was civics. He didn't do the religious stuff till later. It was civic. And so he knows that too, because he's going to bring it up. So for him to say like, oh, religion, but the prophet didn't start the temple till later. And that's the other thing, like that's a Eurocentric point of view. Europeans can only look at us as a religion, because remember, that's the Nicene Creed. When we introduced the Bible to them, they only could see us as what stories was played out in that Bible. That's the only way they can see history. That's how they was. That comes from the Nicene Creed. So when they look at everything that Europeans do, is the religion of, is the aspect of religion. That's why they still say the Muslims and the Christians, they have that's Eurocentric. They do that religious stuff, that's modern. That's not what we did anciently. They took that from the Nicene Creed. That's the only way they can think. So people are still doing that. Mm-hmm. They done took on the dogmatized point of view and now saying the Moors are our religion. How? When we bring that to Europeans, how? That doesn't even make sense. You didn't study.
Maybe that can too come from some of the Moors that they take Islam as a religion. They do like the Arabs do and kind of take those customs. That can come from that. I'm not speaking for the dude, but I can see that being some of the confusion too, because a lot of Moors, they go, not to say nothing wrong with making salat or any of these things, but that's I don't know, like a lot of the religious ways that come from the Arabs. Nothing against them either, but that's y'all thing. We wasn't religious, we spiritual, and we dealt with the zodiac, not spookism and all that. That wasn't it. It's still not it. That's why a lot of people lost dealing with spookism still. Even with the Quran, you can read the Quran using a metaphysical Bible dictionary with the same words. It reads totally different. Mm-hmm. It's like, come on, we gotta get knowledgeable. We were never dummies in this kind of fashion, the way that we being.
Yeah, we are now. Yeah. This is different level type of dummy. Smartphone did a good job. Yo. Smartphone did a good job.
Oh yeah, big time.
Because we're dealing with that's why we deal with the Moorish science. That's the Moorish science. That's the zodiac, the esoteric, all the breath, Sufism. That's all more science. That's more science. That's what that is.
People haven't had that moment.
They make it seem like Islam, Muslim. You can get the book, The Secret Relationship with Queen Elizabeth and Islam. In Islam, it'll tell you Islam, Muslim, all of those is modern terms. Those are modern terms. They use words it was just more. I said it just like that in the book. They use the term it was just more. Islam and Muslim, that's modern. That's modern. That didn't exist. And then when I read it, I said, well, it has to say it in the dictionary. And then when I went in the dictionary, it says, Muslim, Middle English. And we know Middle English, 15th century. That's new. And I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Like, it'll tell you, like, that's not an ancient. And when you read it in the book, they would just call it more. It was just more. You were just being a more. That's more.
When you look in the book and they have Muslim instead of Muslim, I see Muslim in the older books way more than Muslim.
Way more.
Say Muslim.
Way more.
Yeah, way more. And then too, I don't know, man. It's too many things pointing towards the right way for people to keep making U-turns and all this, turnabouts and stuff. It's like, nah, man, go that way. United front towards Islam. Go that way. The east, where all the knowledge comes from. It's simple, you know what I mean? Like just stop, take a minute. People need a breather. You know what I mean? Fall back from everybody for a minute. Like, what do you think? Don't let nobody else influence your thought pattern. Come on, man. That's autonomy. You know what I mean? I can't be Brother Jeremy. I can't be Cujo. I can't be Brother Yusuf. You know what I mean? I don't want to be y'all. I want to be the best of me that I can be. I don't want to be a duplicate of nobody. It's like, what can you bring? Nobody's not trying to see what they can do, where they fit in. You want to, then the copyright infringement, other people's stuff that they put out. It's like, you're not putting out nothing new. You're not putting out no new information, no new products or any of these things. Like, we falling by the wayside. How you known as a nation and you got nothing going for yourself? Like, when the Prophet was around, it was industry happening. Like now, who gonna notice you when you're not doing shit? You look just like you looked in the other status. So what's the difference?
Right.
How are y'all spend more time on the internet than with your tribe?
But your tribe stay in the hood though. Like you're not even on the reservation talking about this Indian shit. Like stop, man. Like at least be on the reservation talking about it and asking some of those things. But you in the neighborhood, bro, talking about you honor Yahweh and all these things.
They don't even live in an abandoned lot. like more on the time you with nature is when you step outside and stuff like this. Like you can miss me with that, bro, because like I'm saying, and that's another thing I had to do. I had to realize I was like, yeah, it's good just to, have the talks and all of that, but we live in, like right now, we live in every day, just like how Amir say, operating every day. So I'd be a fool if I'm trying to, forget or run from that. Like we under occupation right now. So like I said, you may have a video of Moor getting arrested and all of this stuff, but I can't find no Indian, nobody who's showing us the right way. You can't even find an Indian talking Constitution. You can't find none of this stuff. The only thing you can find is a bunch of people who are deemed scholars and historians, but they never even show their face. Like they only thing they do is share their screen. Like, you know what I mean? Like that people don't even see nothing wrong with that. Like, so, I don't know. I can't speak for no other Moor or whatever, but I could speak for myself. You know what I mean? And like I say, if it was a big propaganda on the nation like these people are, claiming, then, when I step out, I should be getting stoned. When I step out, I should be getting, all of the misuses and abuses that these citizens care to bestow upon me, right?
But my question to you, brother Jeremy, is that happening to you?
Bro, I'm gonna just keep it real, man. I just shot literally 2 days ago. I just shot an event. It was like a fashion show, people dealing with artistry and all of that stuff. And when I tell you, bro, I'm shooting, like I'm recording, but all through the footage you can hear, I like your face. I love your face. Another cameraman who was shooting this event, he ran up to me. Like, bro, I fucking love your face, man. whatever. Check this out. I'm walking first, as soon as we get in the event, and mind you, I'm with my Empress, and we walking through the event, and I'm filming or whatever, and then I hear a lady say, hey, there's another Moor biter. And I look, she's like, are you a Moor? And I said, Islam, how you doing? Sister, shake her hand and all of that. You know what I'm saying? You never know, get out of here, you sell out, and, y'all sold us into slavery and stuff like, bro, like, this is real. Like, but only, but for real though, like, I'm so for real, bro. Like, I was at an event trying to do what I'm here to do. I was paid to do something, and I'm steadily getting interfered. Like, man, I love your fans, bro. But I was pumping gas in the hood the same night, and there's a dude, he's sagging, he they hoodied up and all that. Hey, bro, I like your hat. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no. Who this funny head dude? What this funny head dude?
Bucket hat.
Let's stick him up.
Yeah, let's stick up the bucket hat.
None of that. I got videos where on Instagram where I went into game dens afterwards after the conversation just to deal with some GDs. Like just because they see me at the gas station feds up. Like we had a whole conversation in the game den. Well, nobody jumping me or none of that shit. Even when we had differences, there was no issue. They understood all the principles was in they same thing and everything.
That's what's up. If you don't know what's
like
up,
I say, I am. Oh, mind that. Nah,
go ahead, boy. I you.
Oh no, I was just really saying that, you know, I am, you know, it's like when I step outside, you know what I mean? So going back to if we put the shoe on the other foot, do these people know you're Dane Calloway and you slander Moors like that on the internet 24/7? Do these people know you're Indian or like? First, he said he didn't need a nationality, and now he said he's an indigenous Niji. That was his nationality, and now he's just in nationality is just you a slave. So y'all still gonna trust this dude? This dude done. It's like when you made a video about Dolo. This dude done changed his name so many times. You understand? It's like y'all people really still going with this, you know? But like I say, bro, I'm the same. You know what I mean? What I speak over these calls or on the field or on a like, yeah, everybody know that. Like they even have to respect that I'm not at your level, man. So I'm gonna just, you know, I had people admit that, like, man, I'm not on that. So I'm gonna just be what I am, which is, you know, they don't want to, you know, sit down and read the books and all that. And I'm not bashing them. You know what I'm saying? We got to start being a real example to the point where, like I say, I should be getting beat up, and I'm by myself out here in this territory. But it's just not that. It's not that way.
Before the chat goes too fast, let me put this one out to all of you. Why so much hate for the Indians? Somebody in the chat was asking. Nova Drawley had an Indian feather in his fez. The brother on the panel said his lineage is Iroquois. Taj Tariq Bey said his grandmother is Algonquin. Why so much hate for the Indian?
Well, they should watch that same video where he said Cherokee or Blackfoot and all of that. He said, but I'm Moabite. Why you stop the video when he said all the Indian stuff? Noble Draw Lee say where he was from and all of that. And then you don't close the 101s after that. Go to the part where you say you are Moors. Like, no matter how much I hate for no Indians, but I do hate I ain't even gonna call it that, but I ain't even gonna say hate. You know what I'm saying? It's not really even no hate. Like, let's go ahead and let's keep it all the way real. Like, it's not no hate. It's more like when your grandmother slapped you upside the head. Did she hate you? When your mama pulled your pants down and hit you with the belt, did she hate you? It made you may have, you know, cried in the corner like she must hate me, but that was out of love. So it ain't no hate for no Indian, you know. But what I really I'm not about to get with is somebody sitting up here gonna tell me what it is. Like, and I'm not even saying that nobody could tell me or put me on something or lead me in the right direction. But once you know you're on the right direction, nobody about to tell you, hey man, make a left, right? And then you see that this thing saying dead end or whatever, like, or there's no way to make a left, but you still gonna take the left? Cause no, bro, that's crazy. Like, I've been led, not even saying led, I found the true path. I come from where they used to call me the Antichrist because I wouldn't conform to Constantinopolitan Creed. I was the Antichrist before I knew what I knew. Oh, you a devil worshiper and all of this, because I just couldn't conform. And then it go back to, you know, those who seek the truth shall find it. And I found the truth. I never conformed. Like these, I've took beatings for saying some stuff that was in everybody's eyes was out of line and all of that. Like I was the one who never got out the bed Sunday and all of that. Everybody else in my family dressed and ready to go and praise the Lord and stuff, but I was still in the bed.
To chime on to Brother Jeremy, I'll just say, like, it definitely ain't no hate for the Indians. Most definitely, because y'all Moors, and I know that. My thing is, you're standing in the way when you say that you're Indian. You really blocking the passes for everybody else, because, you know, if you look on anything where it's talking, when you're trying to get a job, you see the I-9 form, you know, Indian tribal stuff is all on there, because that's because you're in bed with Rome. You're in bed with the same people that we saying that we don't want to lay down with no more. So that's my main issue, is that there being a blockade. That's like almost like it's like you get into the final boss, and the final boss is black and Indian. So I'm ready to kill the bosses and get the game over. That's how I'm looking at it. Like, there's no hate to it. It's like you the blockade, because again, I got children, and I would like for my children to grow up in a world where they know that they're not subject to nobody and all the treatments that they choose to bestow upon them, like the brother just mentioned. Like, like today, I was out with my Moabite and was able to show her, we was at Home Depot. Home Depot got the tax exempt thing right there on the kiosk. So I was able to show her right there what it was, and that was a opening moment right there, just for her to see what this really is. And then also got the chance to talk, well, it's not just about taxes when you're dealing with that number. And it's like, again, matter of fact, my Moabite, she even looked like Indian. Her whole family looked like the supposed Indians, but I guarantee they know different now. And like the brother said too, the prophet tell you, Cherokee. It was like, who was hiding that? That's what I want to know too. Who was hiding those facts? Like, he said there's a fact, but at the same time he said that we are Moors. Like, period. This history shows that it's not nobody's belief. It's not a belief. This is fact. It's from study. And it's like, the more you study, the more you know, the more you can do for yourself. You know what I mean? It's like, if you go ahead and pick up a book for yourself and see what it means to you, you might be the one to wake up more people or stop the whole, like what I thought the dude, what his name was, Jay Indigenous. Like, that dude, straight fraud, man.
Yeah.
Like, you come on the chat listening in, you get all the information,
yep.
saying, yeah, you understand it. And the next time I chime in on your channel to show you love, hey, you talking against everything you was just on the chat. Everything. You know what I mean? So that's
crazy.
Again, no hate, real. But that's dislike. That's just being, I dislike that.
Yeah,
I guess,
because
I
the
guess
Indian.
that's why we don't trust the Indian.
Because the Indian
hey, look, the Indian giver, huh? They don't say a Polish giver. They call you an Indian giver. Because, hey, if you supposedly gave me your land, now you want it back. Come on, you're an Indian giver.
But you know that any Indian trying to take back their land and all that, that their daddy said that's an act of hostility. Yeah, you are a ward to his guardian. So that's why we don't like the Indians, because we are not wards. We drop the nom de guerre. We're not wards of the state. We're not wards of the court. None of that.
How is an Indian a ward?
Whoa. It's wrong, man, she. Because I want to answer the first question too, man. Let me get in on that. I want to answer that first one, man. Wait a minute. I want to answer that first one. That was a great question, and I was waiting. I was like, I'm gonna wait. But okay, the question was, what was it? Why do Moors hate Indians?
Yeah.
Or so-called Moors? Why do Moors so-called hate Indians or whatnot, whatever? So I want to read something first, right? Coming out of Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition, page 331. Color. An appearance, a semblance, or simulatum, as distinguished from that which is real. A primi facie, or apparent right. Hence, a deceptive appearance. A plausible, assumed exterior. concealing a lack of reality, a disguise, or pretext. Now, Indian is colored. It's a disguise. It's a prima facie, an apparent right. It's an assumed exterior. Now, you're asking me, why do we hate Indians? I can't hate something that's not there. You guys are Moors. Indian doesn't even exist. It's like when I remember being at work, and this guy, he was like, so you're telling me you don't like black people? I said, no, I'm telling you, black people don't even exist. So how can I hate something that doesn't even exist? These people are Moors. I don't hate black people. I don't hate Indians. They don't exist. You guys are Moors. I don't even know what you're talking about. Your question was colored. The question was colored. I have to fix the question. Like, first of all, you're not Indian. That's colored. That's prima facie. That's an assumed exterior. That there's no such thing as an Indian. There's no such thing. You people are Moors. I can't hate something that's not there. I look crazy. We just correcting people. We've been telling y'all that. We just using y'all as beating sticks. We know who y'all are. We know who you are. We not guessing. We're not playing games. We know y'all Moors. We're telling you you're Moors. So we know you're Moors. We're not telling. We know that you're not Indians because you're a Moor. You're like Indian doesn't exist. I'm not saying we don't have to do Indians over there. No, they're not even saying they're Indian. They'll tell you that they're Moors. That doesn't exist. There's no such thing as an Indian on the planet. That's fiction. That doesn't exist. There's nobody with Indian blood. That's you telling me. Well, why do Moors hate Indians? I'm not crazy. There's no such thing as an Indian. You're not going to make me join. See, that's where you can get a debate going. There's no debate now. They don't exist. I'm not arguing with something that don't exist. It don't exist. It's not there. You guys are Moors. I'm not debating with y'all. You thought we were going to debate and keep going back and forth? Indian don't exist. You guys are Moors. Stop lying.
Stop lying.
Causing confusion. That's the problem. You guys causing confusion. You guys are not Indians, period. Period. The whole planet is Morocco. What's going on? Stop. We went through this for years. They've been doing it before I was here. It's been going on forever. Everybody knows this is Morocco, except for the Moors.
And another thing is that we have to continuously remind these people, and I'm waiting for somebody to debate, like I'm not even going to say that, but I'm just saying, Moors are not just because, first off, the Prophet didn't start the Moorish Temple in 1913. So I don't know what Moors you've been watching or you talk to. They don't even know what they're talking about. They don't have the 101.
Hold on. Let's catch them up. Let's catch them up because you're ahead of where he's at.
It's just like, bro, like who are these people?
He only came here. Noble Drew Ali, Timothy Drew only came here to introduce Islam to the Western world, the Western people, or indigenous people. That's what he came to do. Now he was well influenced. He was well educated in law, But what I see certain Moorish Americans doing, I don't think that was what his. I don't think that that's what his job was. I don't think that that's what he came to do. You know what I mean? As far as when y'all are getting into this law and everything.
Wait. He was versed in law, but we can't talk about law?
He leaves you with the question mark though, because he's like, I don't think. Like, well, do you know? That's what I was saying earlier. Well, do you know? Or you just, oh, I don't think. Like, what do you? So you don't know? You're just sitting there talking.
That's
causing confusion.
When these people do those call videos, the reason why is because they don't have that opportunity to be rebutted. Like, no one ever asks, like, just like Ty said, he said, if you are not an expert of chocolate, you can't critique a Hershey wrapper. So, just like this right now, right? If my convenience is messing up, and I just pull up on, if I go to the barber shop and I just pop my hood, like, man, somebody tell me what's going on with my whatever. You think somebody about to actually help me out in the barber shop?
Highly unlikely.
Somebody gonna come out and be like, yeah, man, I think from, I feel like, but you're not really gonna get that service until you go to the person who actually works on convenience or cars or whatever.
Actually,
so if we know this,
it might not be somebody in the barber shop, but a crackhead might help you for $20.
Oh yeah, oh man, bro, I swear you just took it, bro. You just these people, right? These people who would go to everybody else but who they need to go to. These are the same people who would let the crackhead fix their car. Crackhead, you pop your trunk, crackhead, and put gum on your damn. Look, you need a new water hose. Crackhead done put gum because the water hose is low. He done put gum right there, and you think you right. I'm gonna pull up on you next week because my trunk was rattling. I'm gonna see. Yeah, he's crazy. Crackhead to put bubblicious on your water hose. At least you got ingenuity on this side. Oh man, bro. Crackhead gonna use the resources from the ground though. You trying to you do it. You trying to get a oil change. Crackhead to put pop rockets down the thing and all that. You think these people crazy, man.
Off the chains.
Like you think you're gonna go to the doctor, and be like, like you go to a chiropractor if you want your back cracked or whatever. If you need your tooth pulled, you go to a dentist and all of this. So if you want answers, go to, and then I can't even say that because we'd be entertaining the stereotype like there's only certain people who are Moors. We are all Moors.
Yeah, that's a fact. We are all Moors.
So great. I mean, like I said, bro, it's just, I don't know, bro. I hate
I know that there are agents out here. Yeah. You know what I mean? And the clan mothers had told me, do not mix the two. Do not mix the Moorish American with your heritage. That was number one.
That was colored.
On the roster, that was number one. And, the clan mothers had told me, do not mix the two. Do not mix the Moorish American with your heritage. That was number one. On the roster, that was number one. Do not mix it. And I have come across some more.
I don't know that. I'm not agreeing with that. Not gonna put that.
So-called Moors that are not aware of who they truly are as indigenous American Indians. And the time when I was in jail, for standing up for my indigenous human rights, I had met a Moor in jail, you know, and he had found out about me, you know, and what they had locked me up for, you know what I mean? They were trying to make a political statement to the United Nations during that time when I had got locked up, you know, and
wow.
They wanted to get
Wait, what? Wait, what? Who's this guy?
This is like Farrakhan saying he's the prophet because he has the fence now.
What? Wait. I just want to be clear. Yes. What did he say?
It just rewind a bit.
So I had met him more in jail, you know, and he had found out about me, you know, and what they had locked me up for, you know what I mean? They were trying to make a political statement to the United Nations during that time when I had got locked up, you know. And they wanted to give me 12 months. They thought I had read something off a computer, read something out of a book about, you know, my indigenous rights, or, you know, I guess they were under the assumption that I was trying to claim myself as a Moor, and that was not true, you know.
Yeah.
Because if they're trying to make an example out of you with the United Nations, why would they only give you 12 months? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, an example, you want to be like, you talking United Nations, and you talking about some 12 months. Some 12 months? And the United Nations is going to make an example out of you? Like, your story is not adding up. The master teacher tries to be teach you this. You smell smoke? Somebody's bluffing right now. That story does not add up. I don't see how you can do that.
That boy is grandioso right now. He said that they was gonna make a example out of him because they thought he read something out of a book or online.
Yeah. How you get information?
Now, how the United Nations about to make an example out of you and you don't even have a nationality?
You don't have a that's whoa.
He did say he's not a Moor, so obviously he doesn't have a nationality.
and look, he said indigenous, which is an adjective, right? So just like, yes, if you go into the UN with black, indigenous, you could put two of them together. You could put a double adjective. Go in the United Nations saying you're Aboriginal indigenous.
Yeah.
But how can they make an example out of you when you have no nationality? Because any person who understands what it really is, that you can't even get to that venue unless you have a nationality.
Yeah.
Go look up the Hague in your Black's Law Dictionary, since everybody like to read and all that. They'll tell you.
And that's crazy because they're going around talking about nationality puts you back into federal jurisdiction and stuff like that. But they claim for indigenous rights of indigenous people. Like how are you doing that? How are you doing that without a nationality? You have to have a nationality to get one.
Look at Brother Malcolm. Remember, he was talking civil rights, but when he come back as El Haj, he was talking human rights. And, you know, he knew that he had to have a nationality for that. That's how he's El Haj now. You know, it's like, you know, that's when you get to, you know, some study will get you to superimpose what goes where, and you'll figure out, you know, why is he El Haj? What does El mean? Well, El from Moors and Bays, okay. You know what I mean? And now you automatically know he has a nationality. Now you know he can go to the United Nations. Now you know why he got off. It wasn't just because he was going against somebody in their false doctrine, but he found out the truth and was really about to make moves for the people. in real reality, in real time. Because you can do your civil rights thing, but that's unconstitutional. So that's not gonna go too far. You know what I mean? But when you talking human rights, like he talks about his indigenous human rights, where that's at? Like, where is indigenous human rights? I thought, just human rights. That's the declaration I seen. And that goes to everybody. And in there it tells you have a right to a nationality. I think that's Article 15, if I'm not mistaken.
But these people, they see rights of indigenous people and think that indigenous are the people. That document is only describing, because the adjective can only describe the adjective. I mean, the document is describing the type of people who are covered, whatever. But those people who need coverage have a right to a nationality.
That's right.
So indigenous is not.
They don't even address that. They don't even address it.
If that's the case, they would have said, every person has a right to be indigenous. Every person is.
That's why Moors call them so-called Indians. They're so. That's why you're so-called. That's why you call something so-called. You're gonna call me a so-called Moor. When we done broke down everything, we done broke down tribe, we done looked at Indian, it's all there. They make it seem like we making this up, like we picking and choosing. We just read in the dictionary, man. All of that stuff puts you into a colored jurisdiction, saying that you tribal, clan, indigenous with no nationality stuff. Like that's going to put you back into you might as well just say you're black. The Indians, the so-called Indians, became United States citizens. The 14th Amendment. I forgot. I put the act down. I forgot the name of the act. I said it a couple classes ago. There's an act out that put these so-called Indians into the 14th Amendment jurisdiction.
Hold on. They keep hogging up on the Moors. Yeah, word. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, they snuck things up out of there.
Yeah, of course.
No, I was just saying, there is a so-called act that is out there that put these so-called Indians into 14th Amendment jurisdiction. Because all of that, Indian is another Eurocentric brand. All of that. All of that. All of that. Again, that goes right back to the book. Go ahead, Mark.
No, I was telling you to hit them up with where tribe originates from as well, because they, Indian and then the next thing is tribe. So, tell them that the Indian is Eurocentric, then what's the tribe, brothers?
Exactly.
Not only that, is that hat indigenous to America?
Mm.
These people are so Indian, but they have never even given us no kind of exhibit of them being inhabited. Like, show me old time picture, like even with your ancestors. Did they have on that hat you had? And then that's another thing. Everybody's talking about this, trace back your bloodline and who your real and who do you descend from. Bro, that is a European construct because they even know who they descend from.
You want to go to the other one? We'll go to the other one. You can't beat this up anymore. These guys are sour. So on this channel somewhere, there's what we're about to listen to next.
I mean, that's why I'm telling them when they get that, it's just mainly information so they can understand what that is, what stateless means, what sovereignty means. I want you to understand what that is, so you can't say Dane Calloway ain't do that.
Right.
Dane Calloway did do that. Dane Calloway showed you exactly what this meant, and this is the reason why you shouldn't go that route.
Right.
Number one, what you gonna change?
Wow.
Oh, go ahead, more.
But this is the same dude who a year ago he said he about to show you how to find your true nationality. This is the same dude.
Yeah.
And not only that.
And again, this is
I don't know. Go ahead, more.
No, just to put it on the record again, that this is not Dane Calloway's video. This video was actually, oh damn, they're dropping everybody today. Hold on. Yeah, boy.
The dude who this channel was for, it says, "Wake up, indigenous Niji."
Yeah, that's somebody else. But where they got it from was this spot right here. Aboriginal power. So I
mean, it don't really matter because if he reposted it, the same dude saying "Wake up, indigenous Niji," before he was that, he was called "Wake up, black people," and I got because he was one of the trolls on my channel. And I think you here to wake up black people, and now you done saw some Dane Calloway videos, and now you even claiming the same stuff that he said that's his message. Come on, bro, y'all crazy, man.
Your nationality, what you gonna change it to? If you don't know who you are, what you gonna change it to? I mean, what you gonna do is make yourself once again controlled by the state. Okay, and then what everybody right now consider themselves a U.S. citizen, that means that you're what? You're stateless. So what state are you tying yourself to?
Stateless, right.
I mean, it's a lot of things that they got to look at when it comes to that law crap. But I mean, that's the reason why I try to pack that nationality package heavy, because I want them to go back and look at that information and understand, you know what, this is not the route. Let me just do my research on my family.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Then why you sell it?
Right.
If you want your people to see that it's crap, why would you sell it to them? Why not just say, send me your email and I will email you.
I'll email you the crap.
This stuff so you can.
Right. That's like the milk is spoiled, but I'm gonna sell it to you so you can know that it's spoiled. Like what? Like no. Like what are you talking about? That doesn't make sense.
That sounds like robbery. That sounds like I just got robbed right there.
Right.
That sounds like I just got robbed.
And then
like you just tried to say some crazy.
Remember, he just called law crap too. He called law crap, but you was the same one talking about the driver's license if you don't need it. And this remember, because the mother played him over a year ago, and she even said that he is not nationalized, but it seems like he's on the right path. If law is crap, why are you worrying about the findings to show the people, to show them that you don't need a driver's license and all of this?
Right.
Why are you not just looking at
once you have the records?
Well, go ahead, more.
Now I was just saying, why are you not looking at the stuff that you found, showing that the driver's license not needed, and just call it crap? Why you made a video saying, look, y'all, you don't need a driver's license if law is crap?
Yeah.
Why is it necessary? Go ahead.
No, I was saying how they, I got the. Go ahead, more. You got it. You got it. Nah, because it just reminded me of the so-called black guys who say, "Oh, that's the white man's dictionary," and now Dan Calloway saying, "Oh, that law is crap." Like they always saying something, but we know, like, come on, your ancestors invented law, but now law is crap.
My thing is remember what the dude said. He gave us disclaimer. He's just here to make you think. So, you know what I mean? Like, now it's time to start thinking. When somebody do shit like that, now it's really time for you to start thinking. Like, he's letting you know. He's just here to make you think. He's not putting out nothing legit. He just wants you to think about some shit. So I'll give him more props for trying to make the people think. But now,
I don't give him no props. You don't give him no props because the prophecy, if I can get you to thinking, you'll free yourself. And I said that a year ago. You stole that from our prophet. We have a prophet. We have a prophet. The prophet says, if I can get you to thinking, you will free yourself. And you come talking about, I'm just here to make you think. No, you're not, bro. You're not.
So he's trying to be the reincarnated. He's not trying to be the reincarnated.
Oh, yeah. He must have saw the crescent moon and the star in his eyes. He must have seen. Come on, man.
He's trying to take the 30,000 members with him. He's trying to start it off right with him.
Starting off right.
You can't take nothing from you. That's right. You don't have to. You can change your entire name without establishing a nationality. You could change that. I've seen that happen multiple times, but at the same time, it's up to them. That's what I told them. It's totally up to them. But all these false rumors, I want that stuff to cease. Like, stop lying. Y'all didn't even buy it. Right. Pull that up. Show me what it's an application to a more. Like, that shit is retarded. Like, stop playing. Like, you want me to be a Moor so bad? No, thank you. I'm not tied to no 501c3. No. I'm not trying to be down with. I'm not knocking no more.
Yeah, it's not real shit.
Yeah, what?
I don't want to be a Moor. No, thank you. I don't want to be down with no 501c3. That's coming.
Hell, I don't have no 501c3. Nothing.
How? That's like a Chinese saying, I don't want to be a so-called, Chinese saying, I don't want to be Chinese because I don't want to be no 501c3. Like, what you talking about? That doesn't even make sense. You talking about nationality. Why are you talking about 501c3? That's corporate business. We talking about bloodline, continuity. That's colored again. That's like the other dude when he said, don't try to put your heritage with religion. Like, more is a religion. Now this guy is saying more is a 501c3. Like, it's a business corporate thing. Like, the slander they do. Knowing that Moors tell them that Moors, that's our nationality. We don't go around, nobody's going around saying, even the Moors in the temple, they tell you that Moor is our nationality. They know that. They even say that. So I don't even know where they got that from. The Moors in the temple don't go around saying Moor is our religion. They'll tell you Moor is that's their nationality. Black is not a nationality. They say that in the temple. It's not like I don't even know where they're getting that slander from now. Because they'll tell you about some Moors. I don't know no Moors saying that. Moor is a 501c3. What Moors is saying that? The Moors in the temple don't even say that. No Moors is saying that. Every Moor is telling you, Negro color black. They telling you that. I can see even the dirty Moors. They say it. We're not Negro color black. They'll tell you that. There's no Moors saying, our religion is more. Nobody's saying that. No, it doesn't even sound right. Me saying it. Nobody's going around saying our religion is more. Have anybody you've heard say that?
Nope.
So for them to be saying, "Oh, Moorish American is a religion," where is it that somebody is saying being a Moor is a religion? I would like to see that.
Well, if this was a religion, I would not be on the phone with y'all. I'm gonna tell you that now. I was done with religion a long time ago. If I would have came into this and they would talk about religion, I would have been done, still doing my own solo thing. Like, and again, with me, I guess, you know, I've been doing a lot of things, you know, autonomously anyway. Like, before I even found out about that I was a Moor, like, without doubt or contradiction. Before I found that out, I was operating without state help, without contracts and permission to do stuff. I've been a contractor for the last 15 years. I never got a permit or none of that. I build decks and whatever you need, I'm gonna build it. I never pulled a permit. Never had a problem with a permit or none of that stuff. Like, man, these people just need to quit playing. Like, just stop. Where are these other Moors, like my brother said? Who are these other Moors that he's talking about? Why is nobody's name? You know what I mean? Like, oh, the Moor such and such told me this, and it's on his channel, you know, where you can go and verify. But he's just like, I know Moors. Yeah, you know a lot of them. You know yourself, your mom, your auntie, and all those. But you're just an unconscious Moor. It's like, Moor is not nothing to be pushed on you, or like we making you into a Moor, or converting you into a Moor. Like, that's Inquisition activity. Like, stop, man. Just stop with the slander. Like, we damn near need the Wild Wild West to be popping right now. Just so people can see for real. Like just stop, man. Go 10 paces with them or something. Ball up your fist. Like something, man, because like the knowledge just seems to escape you. Like willful ignorance is on an all-time high. You know what I mean? Like an all-time high. Because if you stupid today, then you doing that on purpose, man. Yeah. Like that's purposely done. You know what I mean? Because no offense to my brother Roots, but I've seen a Moor come from. He got it together because he kept getting his head beat in with it. Like, okay, well, I guess this is what's up. He had to go do some more study on his own. Yeah. Because like we were telling more in the chat, like if you know all this, how do you not understand that you're a Moor? So something had to click in that Moor's head at one point. I wish that Moor called in one day and get his testimony. That is, you know what I mean? Because I can't speak for the Moor, but God, man, I got peace for that Moor. For real, like, God, brother. But the other brothers, they just don't want to see it. You want to keep combating it. Keep combating it. You are the roadblock for yourself and your children. Forget everybody on the internet. Forget everybody else. You and your children. And your children's children, you threaten their growth. You stunting them. Because when you tell a child this right now, they jumping on it. I got my brother down in Houston with Brother Jeremy. He built on the line. My brother took the information for himself, read books for himself, took his hard-earned fiat to go buy books for himself, and taught these things to my niece. In under 15 minutes, she understood what she was. Like, to the point when her mother came home, she explained it to her mother. So people can't tell me where this won't go if the parent is doing what they supposed to do. Like, my brother, he didn't just bite in, hook, line, and sinker. Oh, you say we're more, bro? Okay, cool. He like, well, what's that? He had a million questions. I gave him my answers. He like, you know anybody else that can speak with me the same? I introduced him to my brothers. They did the same. Now my nieces and his Moabite are on the same thing together. Now a whole family on that.
Yep, no calling
so people
highwaymen.
Can't tell me what it is.
No calling highwaymen, no.
No highwayman at all. Like, period.
Handle our own stuff. Straight up.
Man, I know children that right now have spoken with me and they'll be riding with their parents and the parent will call me like, man, the child talk about, I wonder how many violations they giving them people right now and stuff like that. Like, they paying fines. Like, children understand that, man. So I don't get how an adult don't get it unless you like, you send it in on purpose, you know. You know what I mean? You know how people do trends and stuff like that. Yeah. I'm gonna go opposite of the trend just to be, you know, I'm gonna start another trend. This time out. This time out time right here. Everybody saying they want remedy. Everybody feel like they're oppressed and they need certain things and we need unity. Well, the thing that unifies on one thing. You have to rise where you fell, and we know we fell as more. We didn't fall as Indians or none of that. We seeded stuff and gave up stuff as those things, but now if you want it back, you gotta see who you are, yourself, your blood. What do you bleed? And DNA not about to tell you. You know what I mean? You're not about to go get no DNA test talking about you 3/5 and a percentage of nothing, man. Stop.
Yeah. And just to kill that DNA BS, right? Because if you take my blood, it'll never tell you that I was born in quote unquote the New Orleans territory or whatever. But that's BS. Right, like, oh yeah, let me take this blood sample right here. All right, we shook it up and all that, and then, oh yeah, you come from New Orleans or whatever. No, it don't go like that.
But to add on too, just real quick, just to add on to the DNA thing, again, you can get the book, The Myth of Continents. So when you get the DNA test and they tell you from, I don't care where they tell you from, you get the book, The Myth of Continents. It doesn't exist. It doesn't even exist. Wherever they tell you from, it doesn't even exist.
Travel to that whatever so-called state you're in. I mean, cut you more. You can travel to whatever state you're in, and it's not gonna be no demarcation. It's not gonna be no thick line across there telling you just travel from Georgia to North Carolina or Georgia to South Carolina or nothing like that. Like these are all imaginary things. Like the continent not broken up like how you see it on a map for real.
No.
Why
not at all.
No.
But please get that book, The Myth of Continents.
That know that they basically are 501c3 and could care less, and they not promoting a nationality status. It ain't got nothing to do with them. But them fraudulent Moors that's out there that's doing that fraudulent paperwork, fraudulent ID, fraudulent this, fraudulent that, I'm not tired with none of them fools. Let them get locked up. I'm not dealing with that. I'm not dealing with that. I've been told them no a long time ago. Like, hell no. You're doing it totally wrong. Let me do it on my own. Nah, but how a church, basically, that's what a 501c3, how a church going to tell you about your nationality? Let's be real. How they going to establish your nationality for you and they a church up under the IRS?
We was doing a timeline in 1913 was the day.
Wait, hold on. Wait.
Yeah.
Moors Temple existed way before the IRS. What are you talking about?
Tell them again. Tell them again.
Moors Temple existed. We existed before the IRS. What are you talking about? Two. Show me your ID, Mr. Dane.
Hey. Oh, he got that corporate shit for yo. Like I guarantee he ain't got nothing for real. Because you don't have a nationality.
Right. But he's not. But he's indigenous. But he doesn't have any self-identification.
Yeah.
He's still using colonizers' paperwork to determine who he is and identification to determine who he is. But then it tell me they're going to tell me who's been recognized. I mean, who has letters from other mayors and stuff who recognize us as being the Aboriginal indigenous people here. Like, that's why I be saying, like, these guys, they know they lying. Anybody, they know that they're Moors. They know that they're Moors. You know, there's no debate. You don't have to get mad. You know, they know they're Moors. They just, like I said earlier, the fame and nobility. The prophet told them in the letters to be read in every meeting. They're jealous of his fame and nobility. They want to be the one. But he told them it will only be recognized through him. The nations of the earth will only recognize you if you recognize the prophet. He told them that. That's why they continue going through what they're going through. They don't want to recognize the prophet who brings us back our nationality. The stuff that they're talking about, that's what they added on. They make it seem like the prophet, he the one that brought back 501c3. And then they try to make it, this the Moors, and then try to make it seem like, oh, but Noble Juari, he was the, there's no disrespect. You just disrespected everything the prophet wrote. What are you talking about, no disrespect for Noble Juari? Soon as he, the other guy, soon as he said so-called Moors, and then said, no disrespect to Noble Juari, I'm like, but Noble Juari said that we were Moors. So when you call this so-called, you just disrespected the prophet. So what do you mean no disrespect to the prophet? You just disrespected the prophet. And Jim Calloway, he, like Jimmy said earlier, and you just reminded me, because I forgot about all of that stuff. He everything he did, he stole from Martin Luther publications. His whole platform is based off of Martin Luther publications. He started 2 years ago.
That's interesting because he calls them out in this.
Right. Jealous of the fame and nobility. Because he wants to be the one. And then try to say like nationality was crack, but the sister who we had this interview with, who got the nationality stuff, he made her run around crazy for nothing. Like under the guise of nationality, and that paperwork he gave her was the thing to do.
Exactly.
And then she found out she was just running in circles.
Now all of a sudden he's put it out there because it's negative stuff.
So you made her run around in circles too? Like not only are you charging people to pay for your BS because it's BS, but you're making people run around, putting their life in danger. Putting their life in danger, using your stuff, you're even letting them do that too?
And they still gotta go talk to somebody who is an officer of the court. So even when you buy it, you gotta just spend more finance to go discuss it with the officer of the court.
Forget getting notarized.
I don't think he even said the word notary, but listen to it. This dude talking about we making people wards of the state and all this. But when you go deal with him, it's just like right now. If somebody came to me and I was doing video, right? And be like, anybody who do this or whatever, I will refer them to somebody that I deem credible, right? Which would be like another Moor. Yeah, I know Moor. He'll handle you. He'll take care of you. Just let him know Jeremy Dixon. When you deal with him, he's gonna refer you to the same people that they claim they hate, that they indigenous, and he's sending you to the same people who murdered all of his family. Does that make sense to you?
Mm-hmm. We're trying to sell you out. It makes hella sense. If I'm trying to perpetuate the same thing, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You continue to do the same thing. You do the same thing and expect different results. I think that's the definition of insane.
No, that is the definition. And we already know how dangerous thinking is. But yeah, that's the definition for sure.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. It's time for a change. I mean, like literally, like what's I've been on Brother Inyan Bay, and the brother said, like basically every 30 years, our status, so-called status changed. He was colored, black, African American, Negro, and all those. So it's like why not? Okay, one of those changes. Why not go ahead and see what it's like to operate as a Moor? Like, why haven't nobody said, you know what? I tried it out to see for myself what this Moor thing was about, and and then say something. It's always what I heard this one person they went through, and then I seen a dude in jail. First and foremost, a Moor in jail, trust me, he did some shit, and he found out in jail or something. Like, my thing with my whole anything I had to do with any jail or court or any of that. When I was in Negro colored black state, they was giving me hell. As soon as I proclaimed my nationality, put that shit on the record, and then sent in my paperwork, like far as my avertment of jurisdiction or court warrant, everything ceased and desist. I didn't even have to really continue doing anything. They backed off. Like, it completely backed off. Any other time, it was at my door from another state.
And right now, right, Mo, aren't you living in peace and all of that?
Man,
nobody trying to come bust your door down and all that, like all the video show, right?
No, none of that. I told you, the surrogate mother, the so-called probation officer, she used to call me because we had a good rapport. She's like, I don't want you to get in trouble, so she would call me for my phone report. And I would tell her, I forgot. And I kept telling her, I say, look, I'm doing my studies, so, after a while, I don't know what's going to happen, but we probably want to talk. Once I sent in that writ, it was a wrap. She don't even call me no more or nothing. Everything stopped. This lady would call me on her own, but she know that there's ramifications behind calling me now. So she don't call no more. Like, that's my own personal testimony. So another Moor can't tell me what this is and what it's not. And then too, like, there's no guidelines on like how to be a Moor. We got principles to stand under, and then you go rock out in the world, do what you do. Ain't no.
What about this though? What about the Moors who, like, it kind of remind me of like what Mother Anna Eve said. If you think you're gonna go into these tribunals and say I'm a Moor, and then you're gonna say, oh, he's a Moor, let him go and all of that.
Oh no, that ain't happening for you. It's no secret password, handshake, Masonic symbol. You can't
put a red stripe on your right collar, and when you go to court, because mind you, like, let me keep it real. Before I knew anything about Moorish nationality, that it was being heavily pushed that Illuminati, and to be a certain standard, you have to join the Masons and all of this. And I have right now, if I had a chance to, I could bring people onto the line who've gotten out of jail or, situations where, they've done things that's, basically linked Masonically and all of that. Like, I had one more who told me, I forgot what the charges was, but they was heavy. And he spoke with his father, and his father was like, look, when you go to court, he said, put a red stripe on your right collar, something like that. And when he went into the tribunal, when the quote unquote magistrate saw it, that dismissed, right? But it's our people who thinking, well, I sent in my proclamations and all that, and then it's supposed to just fall in your lap, or it's supposed to just disappear. That is the most false stuff. Like, right now, I'm telling you, there's no paperwork that's gonna save you. So stop putting real Moors who even know this, what I just said. Like, there's Moors who know this. Paperwork don't save you. Like, Cujo, you got a class on paperwork don't save you.
Yep.
So for the record, killing that too, that paperwork don't save you. What are you gonna say when they respond to what you just said? So when you say I'm a Moorish American national and all of this, and they be like, I don't care about that. How can you rebut that? That's what Moors know. Moors know that it's about the rebuttal. It's about, can you stand? Do you have the right of claim? Can you stand on your claim? Can you, rebut all of the fraud that's being put up against you? Bro, I've been in the tribunal where the damn barrister say, may I be excused? Because it wasn't going no further from who here has jurisdiction? Like another thing. Is an unconscionable contract enforceable? Just little rebuttals that will freeze this shit.
You will know those rebuttals if you didn't study, if you didn't, like my man say, well, Noble Drew Ali, he was versed in law. If you're not versed in law, you through. You through. You about to come out of the gate emotional and they about to eat you. Period. And don't forget, they using your zodiac too. They got you in there on your weakest day, at the weakest point of yours, and they about to eat you. Take on the table time.
You gotta know your chart. Not only that, the tribunal I'm speaking on, it's like in a car, it's 2 minutes away from my house. If you walk, it's like probably a 13-minute walk. They from what I just spoke on. Nobody coming down the street, oh yeah, that dude, he was talking crazy. Go kick his door in because we need this, whatever. They were trying to sue me for 5,500 notes. And for some reason, I wasn't the one who coming saying, can I set up a payment plan? Everybody else was. They cleared out the damn courtroom before they even heard what I had to put on the record. Because I sent my writs preceded me. So I sent the writs already. Like even when I come, there's gonna be a special appearance and all of this. And when I got there, I tell you this, the damn tribunal was clear when they brought me up. Even had to reestablish, like, Jeremy, whatever, the nom de guerre, that's nom de guerre, address me as my free national name. Addressing me in my free national name and everything, even when the fake ass judge talk about, well, we're going to use that as an AKA. I said, no, that's not an AKA. That's not an AKA. That's what it is. That nom de guerre is an AKA, if anything. You know what I'm saying? And they, like I say, if you in the car, it's 2 minutes away from where I domicile. And if you walk, it's like a 13-minute walk. But it's just a difference because everybody who comes in there, they already, they probably have the money order in hand or trying to set up the payment plan. They cleared out the doggone court. And by the time I finished with these people, when I turned around, the court was full again because it's like they're sending people whatever in blocks. So let's say if, like right now, I seen you something like, yeah, we're gonna have a meeting. That's another thing. Even the correspondence, it said we having a meeting. You ain't talking about no trial date or court date. They say a meeting. So let's say if it's a 10 o'clock, and then after 10, from 10 to 2 or whatever, that'll be the first go around, and then whoever correspondence is sent out, they may have dates. You come to court or whatever at 2. So when I sat there and was dealing with those people, the court was empty. By the time I finished with them and I turned around, like after speaking and putting on what I had to put on the record, turned around, the courtroom was full. Everybody was looking at me like, what the hell was going on up there? Everybody looking like, what's going on? What have we walked into? Because, just for example, a few things that are being put on the record is that, who here is claiming to have, personam jurisdiction, subject matter jurisdiction, territorial jurisdiction. The barrister say, Your Honor, he's starting up here, we're down here. I said, well, isn't that the difference between superior and inferior? We in the inferior court. So why would I start down here with y'all? Like I'm a barrister and all of that too. Where is the person who say I owe them 5,500 notes? Because if I even move any forward, that's a violation of another constitutional right. Because I have the right to be, confronted with my accuser. Can't nobody talk about some synchrony bank Synchrony Bank telling me that you owe them 5,500 notes. Well, where's Synchrony Bank? Can I shake their hand right now? Can they come and, you know, have a word with me? Can they tie their shoe? The barrister say, can I be excused? And that was the end of that. And not only that, is that wasn't even the person who was supposed to even get the ass whooping. Because when I set my wrist, it was a female barrister who was supposed to receive that ass whooping. But when she got those wrists, she sent what they call it, a decoy. So I mean,
real, they start hiding. You already know. They don't want them suits on them. They know they getting a suit in the private and commercial capacity. They don't want them.
Nobody was trying to make an example out of me, and the United Nations wasn't trying to make an example out of me because I came in there talking about inappropriate persona and all that.
And that Moor was just on the video, just telling some good old lies. Like, man, stop it, man. Like, there you go. He was super Moor. United Nations trying to make it. Who are you for United Nations to do anything? What is your indigenous name or whatever you want to call it? Like, who are you? Like, that's the same thing for Moors. Like, me and the brother Jeremy was building. It's like, you talking all these things about these people that, you know, doing something to you, but they never even heard your voice before. They don't know you. You have no rapport with these people. You don't know what they're going to say when you call in, you know, or nothing. Like, just like you was dumb to the fact, they are dumb to the fact. It's not like they just all know because they sitting in these seats. They don't just know. But when you tell them, I guarantee you they know. Like, I talked to a lady down here in the Georgia Department of Labor. That lady contacted me on her off day, telling me she was doing more studies and she see what I'm talking about and telling me who I should go further to talk to. Like, these people tell you, thank you for informing me. I didn't know this. I don't get no kind of, no big time flack like, oh, you talk about you or more, like you must be crazy. No, none of that never happened. It's like, oh my God, I see. Oh, you said Constitution what? Which one was that? And they take that down, and the next thing you know, they right back at you. What you need? It's like Moors need to get out here and do. Like, I don't know you anymore. They're not going to check and see who did a proclamation today and calling you like, oh yeah, I heard you got a problem. Can I help you? Like, nah. You gotta let it be known, like literally. You know, it's talk, say something, go somewhere, do something.
And to add on to it, the Moors with the Moors who, you know, the Dan Calloway people who claim that indigenous Indian stuff. Now, this is coming out of the book Indigenous Peoples and Human Rights, International and Regional Jurisprudence by Ben Saul, right? And he's even telling you in the book of Indigenous People and Human Rights that the word indigenous is a conflict. People, they're labels. Now the word indigenous, now the conflict came in 1913. The concept of indigenous being characterized as a legal concept didn't exist until the 60s. Mm-hmm. Like that's new. That didn't exist, and that's coming out of the Indigenous Peoples and Human Rights, International and Jurisprudence. It says, at the time that the right of self-determination was understood to exclusively apply to the whole population of a colonial territory. Since then, the ILO, various UN bodies, and increased international advocacies by indigenous groups since the 60s have helped popularize quote-unquote indigenous as a legal concept. So it didn't exist until the 60s. It says before the rise of the term indigenous, what are now known generically as indigenous people were referred to by a very desperate and localized terms, many of which pre-exist in various forms. Today, some are regarded as pejorative and no longer used. Some terms were originally used by colonial powers to describe their encounters with the inhabitants of foreign lands. It says this is true, for instance, of some of the very earliest international law debates about the rights of Indians as quote unquote Indians, as during the Spanish conquest of the Americas in the 16th and the 15th century. And it says linguistically, the term indigenous entered the English language around the 17th century. So that's not even ancient. How you the first people calling yourself indigenous, but the term didn't exist until the 17th century. The word itself didn't exist until the English language until the 17th century. This is coming from indigenous people and human rights. In the book, what they claim, you know, for their rights and stuff, and Ben Saw, he's telling them, calling yourself, the problem is calling yourself indigenous. It's a conflict. You're putting it's a modern term. It's colonists called you that to determine that, you know, you were the first people here. The colonizers called you that. You didn't call yourselves that you were indigenous. Colonizers called you that. According to Ben Saw and Indigenous People and Human Rights on page 24.
I don't think a lot of people understand about being colonized or what a colonizer is. Because like if you really get the fact of what being colonized is, you realize that everything that you had going on ceased to exist, and now you have to acclimate to whatever the colonizer says is what. You know, your history is wiped away and everything. So it's like when the mortgage is telling you what's the real history, it's like, why would you fight with the colonizer against the truth? Like, that's the point I'm not getting. It's like, why would why are you going with the colonial activity? Why are you so hell-bent on being stuck with the colonizer and his ways and stuff when you supposedly indigenous and things? What happened to that? Like, you forgot about the colonizer that came in on you? Like y'all should have the most complete records of all of what happened. Like, if that was what the whole Indian indigenous people were here, they did it to y'all. Why y'all don't know shit? Why you don't know this is not the same person? Why are they telling you that you're a ward? Like y'all relationship is like a ward and a guardian. Why are they saying that you're a dependent nation? Like, those things, it's like, why don't you ask some questions about yourself and what you're getting into instead of directing those questions outward? Like, if you're going into the whole Indian paradigm, you need to check it out. You know what I'm saying? You need to see the history on it and see what's really what. Same thing with the Moors paradigm. You need to see. You can't just come in and, oh, yeah, this is that, and I'm just going to ride with it. You have to see how it feels to you, not how it feels to the next person, but you. The prophet said, save yourself. That's what people are lacking. A lot of people want to try to help everybody. You can't even help me if you haven't helped yourself first. If you don't have, how are you going to give? So if you don't have knowledge, how do you give knowledge?
Like what Steve Harvey told Monique. What he told her, he said, if you want to help poor people, the best thing to do is not be one of them.
Wow. That's crazy, You see what their materialistic mindset is.
Period, man.
Help. Well, to quickly add on too, because it is indigenous stuff, because they keep bringing it up. They keep calling themselves indigenous. Okay, like you guys have to please look up this book, Indigenous Peoples and Human Rights, International and Regional Jurisprudence by Ben Saw. They have to get this book. He's going in. He says, now it says on page 24, it says this strategic positioning It's well explained by Asian indigenous networks as follows. Now, this is the so-called Asian people speaking. It says, we are using the term indigenous people with a meaning that is different from that given in that which is given in many dictionaries, or how it is understood by many governments. Over the past decades, the concept of indigenous peoples has evolved beyond the original meaning found in dictionaries and is now well established in international law. That is why we are writing it with capital initial letters, right? It says it is a foreign term for most of us, the word indigenous. These are the so-called Asian indigenous people. They telling you the word indigenous, it is a foreign term for most of us, and it is often difficult to translate into our own languages. Some governments in Southeast Asia use names to refer to us collectively like ethnic or minorities, hill tribes, native people. There are also the names given by outsiders, some of which are not appreciated by many of us, since they often imply notions of culture inferiority, being primitive or backward. Examples are Chunchi, meaning ethnicity, or literally national people in Cambodia, or Saki, literally meaning slave used in Thailand for some hunter-gatherer groups. We ourselves, though, prefer to use names which our ancestors have given us. This Asians, the so-called indigenous Asians, telling them, the term indigenous is foreign. We like to use terms our ancestors gave us. This is coming out of indigenous people and human rights. They told you.
And look, Yusuf, ain't nobody talking about some, can you trace yourself back to your ancestors and all that?
Exactly. 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 The so-called Asians telling you the word indigenous is a foreign term for most of us. It's difficult to translate into our own languages. They don't look at that. That's how modern this word is. The rest of the world don't even know what you're talking about. They don't even know what you're talking about. What's that?
Snap! Oh, snap!
The rest of the world don't even know what you're talking about.
Bro, you just say it's modern to the world, right?
It's modern to the world.
Look, what year did the UN pass this bill?
Right.
Dang, 1950.
Yeah.
I mean, in the 1950s, if I'm not mistaken. If I am, Moors could correct me.
Yeah,
I can run to it.
And right in the 60s, the term indigenous became a legal term. So right around the same time.
Wow.
That's coming out of the book, Indigenous People and Human Rights. It's telling you that indigenous term is, that's the problem. You calling yourself indigenous. You shouldn't even be using that term.
Oh, wait. Whoa, man, bro. Wait. So, if indigenous is a modern term, and it also is an adjective, I mean, that goes the same for black being a modern term and it being an adjective.
Right. All these labels stem from the Spanish Inquisition. Like, what about more though? Just want to ask you two more. What about more? How that's on the walls of Kemet, baby. What you mean? I just need to do a double check. You know, we like a fact check.
You know, people like to say that the Greeks named us and all of that. Like, Yeah, I mean, then the Greeks, if that's the case, why are we talking about we from Egypt? Why are we talking about we from Greece or whatever?
That's them gymnasium boys, you know, the ones that talk about Greek, them fraternity boys, and they like to be in the gymnasium. Do the etymology on gymnasium. you know.
It's going back to like.
Hold on, what's that? Because I just thought of something. What is that? What is the etymology of gymnasium?
Oh, hold on, I'm gonna pull it right now for you, Mark. But I can tell you,
I know it's something good.
I'm a paraphrase, but it's basically like being naked with young men and then rapping.
Oh, okay, all right. Hold on,
I'm about to go to it right now. Amazing.
I mean, that's going back to shit. The homosexuality being practiced in the
fraternity. Hey, in the fraternities, you getting haze my ass.
Nah. Before you can't just run straight to that. You gotta, everything is cause and effect, you know. Mm-hmm. So that's why you can't watch no movie, no TV show without them slipping some homosexuality in.
Well, I'll tell you people like this. Go ahead, Mark.
No, I was just saying, like you see, the frat, but before fraternity was even a word, that come from the friars.
Indeed. Let's see. That's crazy.
Roma wrestling.
Oh well, when I went to gymnasium in an etymology dictionary, it tells you to see naked. So when I go ahead, Mark.
No, I was saying, so damn, you can't even read the etymology. You can't even read the definition without stripping, huh?
Yeah, period. It goes all right to naked. And naked is telling you that you're gonna yield. So you know what happened when somebody take you in that manner. You definitely yielded. So I don't know, man. It's crazy.
Hey, you make me not want to yield the flow no more.
Hey, but you see, you give it up. You see what I'm saying? You give the floor up. So hey, you know what the next person what they giving up. You need your manhood in full attack, man.
Better check them baby pictures. That manhood might be woman.
Yeah. The Adam's apple. We really do need to start checking these people. You talk about tracing something back. We need to trace back to your baby pictures.
Polite had that right here.
Yeah. It's not about what you were then. What are you now? That's them people. Wow, man.
Yeah, more. I think they got enough. We got any closeout remarks or comments or cuss words or whatever?
Hey, I swear, I was gonna curse, but I ain't gonna do it. Just, all you Indians, FOH.
It's well, me, I'm gonna be me. Y'all need to quit fucking playing and get with the program. Like seriously, it's generations and children and right now at stake. You know what I mean? To be listening to someone else, like check it out for yourself. Quit getting led by somebody. You know, I self-law master is Islam to Moors, not religious by far. But you know, peace to the panel, peace to the chat, Moors and Islam, and peace to the Prophet, most definitely for dropping it for us.
Most definitely.
Yep, Islam. And I'm just going to let the dirty Moors know that my son is laughing at you. He listens because as I'm listening to the videos out loud, I don't even have to, I'm not even saying nothing. I'm just letting you play, and my son is listening to you. And the first thing he says, Daddy, is that another dirty Moor? And I'm like, okay. No, it's what you're saying. My son already knows. I don't even have to say anything. He's 10. He's 10. He'd be 11 March 13th.
Islam.
Yeah. Man, he's laughing at you.
And it's funny, YouTube, bro, because like I could only imagine what my son gonna be saying once he begins to start, having conversations with these people.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yep.
I'm sitting there. We're down south. I'm down south with my blood, and my son. He's in the kitchen. He's talking to my father and his wife, and he's like, "Yeah, on the trip down here, while we were traveling down here in the conveyance, the birds started." And I'm like, "Okay, my dad's wife immediately was like, what are you talking about?" Now she's country. She immediately, what is he talking about? And when we was in the car on the way down here, we have to say what he's saying because he just knows conveyance. He knows we were traveling, but it's regular. Comes out the mouth regular. He just talking, looking around, playing, fiddling with his fingers, being a baby, but talking like, while we were traveling down here in the conveyance, and I'm like, yo, look at this. I'm gonna have to break this all down for the 60-plus-year-olds. the 10-year-old, all he knows is what's the truth. No, that's like he says, Daddy, what is that, another dirty Moor? And I'm like, I'm just sitting here. My son only has to hear you talk for like 3 minutes, and he already knows. As soon as the first 3 minutes, my son, oh, Daddy, that's a dirty Moor? Like, okay. We already know. So don't think that you're not, that the young ones are laughing at you. Just know that. Because I know they tune in to Canaanland Moors, so I know they listening.
They tune in all right.
Who don't? If they made it this far, though. If they made it this far.
Straight.
Right.
And I just want to, just what you saying that about having to explain to the oldest or the eldest. I want to read out of Clock of Destiny real quick. Oh, get it. On page 5, right? Ian Bay says the majority of those now ranging between 20 and 50 years of age have been too deeply instilled with emotional religious doctrines and
wow. They're doing it like that. They're doing it like that.
Yeah,
man. They're going hard right now. Hold on.
Clock of Destiny right there.
Yeah, peace, Mark.
She read that same passage I just read, and I was talking with her.
Yo, you have to read the passage.
You probably got to start over.
You say what?
You got to read the passage
I think we
again.
got kicked out.
Because I got kicked off.
Oh wow, for real? Yep. Man, they've been working tonight.
Working.
Just just one more time, for the record. Clock of Destiny, on page 5. It says the majority of those now ranging between 20 and 50 years of age have been too deeply instilled with emotional religious doctrines and distorted history, which has been written by prejudiced European American educators during the past 93 years. This group emotionally rely upon that which they have been taught to believe. Facts and testimonies are not the foundation of their faith, except in very rare cases. These people accept without question the belief of those among them whom they are born and reared, and will disbelieve even the evidences of their senses, rather than disband with the impractical, emotional, religious beliefs which have grown in them. And I say Islam, and I yield the floor.
Islam.
Wow.
Peace and love to all the Moors worldwide. Once again, happy holy day to all the Moors. Peace to the trap Moors. And of course, honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali for all the great work that he did in liberating us out of mental slavery. Peace and love to all Moors. Islam.